biggest story in the NFL this offseason, the Buccaneers' new head coach, John Gruden, and a guy who's awfully excited to be a part of this new offense, the always colorful Keyshawn Johnson. But first things first, let's go over for the first half of the World Bowl and join Kurt Menefee and Brian Baldinger.
Being a champion, it means winning at all costs, winning at all levels, sacrificing everything for the win. You can play all your life and never have the chance to be a champion. But when that time comes, only a select few will live up to the moment. Sometimes you get only one chance to be a champion. It can come down to one play, that split second that decides whether or not you'll be a champion for the rest of your life. World Bowl 10 kicks off next on Fox.
While much of the world is in a frenzy over its version of football, the World Cup, here in Germany, they have gone nuts over American football and the World Bowl. Live from Dusseldorf, Germany, it's the hometown Rhine Fire hosting the defending World Bowl champion, Berlin Thunder. Hello again, everyone, and thanks for joining us here in our continuing coverage of NFL Europe on Fox. I'm Kurt Menefee. And you take a look at these two teams, and yes, they are playing for a championship here in World Bowl 10, but it comes down to much more than that. The list of stars in the National Football League who have been through NFL Europe range from Kurt Warner to Leroy Glover to Adam Vinatieri, all at some time spent part of their career in this league. Today, 68 players among these two teams are currently on the rosters of NFL clubs representing 27 different franchises. But for the fans, when they come to World Bowl 10, it's not just about a football game, a championship game even, it's about a party. And wherever there's a party, somewhere in the middle of it is my partner, Brian Baldinger.
And why not, Kurt? It's hard not to find the party here in Dusseldorf today. Over 50,000 of these people are going to take it from out here into their game time to see the league's #1 offense of the Berlin Thunder, led by quarterback Todd Huzak, who tied with 14 touchdown passes. He'll be thrown to Dane Looker's favorite target, led the league in receptions. And then last week, Anthony White gave the team a real lift, 197 yards rushing. It was the league's best. Trying to stop him is the league's best defense of the Rhine Fire. They've given up the fewest points, and they're led in the middle by Brandon Miller and the two linebackers, Tim Johnson and Ula Tuatelli. Now, I'll tell you, they also got a big lift all year from the special teams. 3 runbacks for touchdowns in the last month. And I'll tell you what, Kurt, I'm out of time. The party's going to go inside there. Save me a seat. I'm out of here.
Good luck fighting through the crowd. We'll be back to get this party started with the opening kickoff right after this.
Don't miss a special movie presentation of Home Alone 3, Fox Monday.
This week on the hit series American Idol, the first 10 finalists gave their all.
Eagles forget how to fly.
Sensational.
And after millions of you voted for your favorites, the top 3 were chosen.
Oh my God.
I respect the vote. I don't agree with the vote.
While the others said goodbye. This Tuesday, the next 10 finalists compete head-to-head. And after watching the show,
This is about being the best.
it's your vote that again decides who moves on in the competition. Then Wednesday, be there live as the winners are announced. American Idol, the TV sensation, continues Tuesday and Wednesday on Fox.
I've got to tell people about Chi-Chi's and their guarantee. Are you aware of Chi-Chi's new guarantee?
The food is that good that we guarantee it.
You guys go to Chi-Chi's and try the food?
That would be good.
They've got new Southwestern grilled specialties. How's the Santa Fe chicken?
That was my favorite.
It is absolutely wonderful. I have the Santa Fe steak. This has 2, and it's very good.
Good food, good service.
Totally salsified. Totally salsified.
Try new Southwestern grilled specialties at Chi-Chi's, where your total salsification is now guaranteed, where your meal is free.
It's not a felony to tell people about a guarantee.
Right now at Mattress Discounters, you can choose any size mattress for the same price, $99. That's right, $99 each piece for selected twin, full, queen, and king-size mattresses thanks to Mattress Discounters' huge buying power. All sizes are the same price on selected mattresses in every price range. They start at $99 each piece when you buy the complete set.
Have a good night's sleep on us, Mattress Discounters.
Watch Seinfeld, weeknights at 7:30 on Fox 53.
Good luck, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
A full house at Rheinstadion here in Dusseldorf, Germany for World Bowl 10. And both these teams, the defending champion Berlin Thunder and the Rhein Fire, who finished with the best record in all of NFL Europe, certainly ready to kick things off. And you know what, Baldy? I feel like with World Bowl 10 on board, it's football season.
Well, you know, I think for a lot of fans in America, the last play of pro football was this kick by Adam Vinatieri in New Orleans as the Patriots were the upset winners against the Rams. And I think maybe the next time you watch football will be here today, because I think all fans in America are ready for some football. We're a month away from training camp, and this game today can get you jump-started, because I think everybody in America wants to know, can their team be the next dark horse? Can they be the Patriots? And this is a great place to kind of get yourself started.
And, of course, Vinatieri got his career jump-started by coming to NFL Europe.
Well, these fans, they don't sit long, Kurt. I tell you, they were outside the stadium, over 52,000 of them, for about four hours for a party, and they bring it on inside, and they'll keep it going in here.
The Rhein Fire have won the toss, so they will receive first. You saw Danny Boyd of the New York Jets set to kick it off. And World Bowl 10 is underway. It's going to be a short squib kick right down the middle, picked up by Tim Johnson, and he gives it back to Corey Alston, who's brought down right at the 27-yard line. Ryan, a dangerous return team. Berlin electing not to give him a shot to start this contest. So the Fire on offense, led by T. Martin, the quarterback from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Of course, noted for winning a national championship at Tennessee, has struggled at times this season here in Europe.
And he really concentrated hard back to that last championship as a junior at Tennessee. Got himself into the tunnel this week. Very disciplined, very focused for this game today.
Ryan starts in a 2 tight end set. Martin rolling out and hitting one of those tight ends. That's complete to Mark Thomas of the New York Jets. Good enough for 12 yards and a first down. This Rhein Fire offensive line has been strong, especially when you consider they have shuttled several players in and out due to injury this season. The backs and receivers, you see a couple of Saints at wide receiver along with a 49er. The running back Jamal Robertson voted the offensive MVP in the league this season. On first down, Martin under pressure, hit as he throws, and that's picked off. That's intercepted by Ante Jones, and we mentioned about the injuries that both these teams have suffered. Jones in just his second week as a Thunder with a big play.
And this was caused by Dwayne Missouri, the defensive end from the Dallas Cowboys, who comes over the right side. Here's Dwayne Missouri over here. He's going to beat on the outside Josh Moore clean, and he gets right to the passing arm of T. Martin. Ante Jones, who's on his third team, is the recipient, but here comes Missouri. A beeline, and this team beat up the Frankfurt Galaxy quarterback Bart Hendricks last week. The worst beating by a quarterback I've seen all year over here.
So the Thunder, the #1 offense in NFL Europe, starts from the Rhine 49. Quick pass to Anthony White out of the backfield, and White with a bit of running room close to the first down marker, finally brought down by Greg Brown.
We have a number of players mic'd here today. Take a listen to T. Martin here as he gets hit. First pass, first hit. T. Martin's a big guy, but no quarterback can sustain a number of hits like that on an afternoon with that kind of tempo and hit.
It's going to be second and short. White with the handoff, and Anthony White with running room. Tripped up and brought down at the 26. Deke Cooper on the tackle, but 2 big plays to start for this Berlin Thunder offense. And Todd Husak, the quarterback for the Thunder, set an NFL Europe record for completions this season, voted to the All-NFL Europe team at quarterback.
Yeah, very quick and decisive with his reads. The ball gets out of his hands very quickly.
Set. White 10. White not.
He's got 3 receivers on first down, feeling the pressure, gets rid of it, and it's broken up. Jamel Smith with a knockdown. This Thunder offensive line is big and deep. They actually rotate 7 players in, but the best of them is the center Ben Hamilton, sent here by the Denver Broncos. Among his backs and receivers, the big guy is Dane Looker that he likes to pass to, and there you see White, the Arizona Cardinal, last week 197 yards rushing.
That's Darnell Offer, who started all games at right tackle this year. Real solid from the Kansas City Chiefs.
On second down, here comes the blitz. He hits Looker, and he's brought down. Tim Johnson on the tackle. Going to be a short pickup of maybe 1 yard.
Players down by contact. Third down.
Big defensive line for the Rhein Fire, led by Humphrey, Miller, Clay Brooks, and Klein Hesselink. They are really strong in that linebacking group. Tuatelli and Johnson both made the all-league team this year. Their secondary strong as well. In fact, free safety Deke Cooper was voted defensive MVP.
That's Aaron Humphrey from the University of Texas. Bit old country boy from Lubbock who says today's the payday for him.
On third down, Anthony White going to be stopped in the backfield, dropped for a loss of 3. Tim Johnson on the tackle, the Chicago Bear.
Well, Tim Johnson led this league in tackles this year. He's going to be coming right down the middle. Here he is on inside blitz. Nice timing by Johnson. And Anthony White getting a heavy dose early like he did last week as he ran for league best this year, 197 yards.
And Danny Boyd on for a 48-yard field goal attempt. His long during the regular season was 47. But as they say, pay that no mind. He gets it right down the middle, and the Berlin Thunder take advantage of the turnover and lead 3-0.
At Aaron's, it always costs less, a whole lot less. Take this giant 52-inch big screen TV with picture-in-picture. At Rent-A-Center, it's $135.96 a month for 30 months. But don't be fooled, do the math. That's over $4,078. At Aaron's, it's $99.99 a month for 24 months. So you save over $1,439 and you own it 6 months sooner. You're automatically pre-approved, you don't need credit, and you get the guaranteed lowest price. So why pay more? Do the math. Call Aaron's.
The Insider Pizza from Pizza Hut is back and even better. Now it comes with free extra toppings. For a limited time when you buy the Insider, the pizza with 6 cheeses baked inside 2 thin crusts for $10.99, you can get extra toppings. Or make it a Meat Lovers, Supreme, or any other specialty absolutely free. You get extra toppings for no extra money. So what are you waiting for? Jump in and get your Insider. The Insider Pizza, $10.99 and free toppings for a limited time, only at Pizza Hut.
Le peloton entre dans la ville, ils ne sont plus très loin de la ligne d'arrivée. 2 grands champions Bornet et Stifel se battent l'un contre l'autre. Ils sont en tête, mais qui va gagner? Bornet, Stifel, Bornet, c'est très indécis. Ah, ça y est, la ligne d'arrivée est en vue. Et Gordon à côté de l'autre. Je n'ai jamais vu une course aussi excitante. Gordon! Mais c'est Jeff Gordon dans sa Chevrolet.
Chevy Monte Carlo. Wherever there's a winner's circle, we'll be there.
The World Bowl on Fox is brought to you by Aaron's Sales and Lease Ownership. Let Aaron's drive your dreams home today. By the Insider Pizza from Pizza Hut with cheese inside and out. By Chevy, the cars you depend on. The cars that last will be there. And by new Castrol GTX High Mileage.
From the banks of the Rhine River, here in Dusseldorf, the Rhine Fire trailing the Berlin Thunder. Early on in World Bowl 10, it's 3-0. Berlin taking advantage of the turnover.
Well, you know, it's always comes down to big plays and big games, and certainly that defensive line that we talked about. They're going to rotate 8 guys today, got their early hit on T. Martin, you know, and find themselves in a hole. Now, this kickoff team has been a bad deal for Berlin. Not a good kickoff team, and Ryan is a very good kickoff return team.
And they squib it down the middle again. Corey Alston still gets it at the 10. Alston brought down right at the 25-yard line. Dwayne Stukes on the tackle, but exactly what Berlin wanted with their special teams unit. The Berlin defense came up with a turnover on the second play on that opening possession, and part of the reason Dwayne Missouri had the big hit, he gets the start on the defensive line. Their linebacking core just as strong as Ryan's, Adams, Jackson, and the former Packer Jude Waddy. In the secondary, Hawkins and Young, the corners, Jones and Stukes, the 2 safeties. Play action. Martin going up top. Incomplete. He's being chased once again by Dwayne Missouri.
Well, for T. Martin, this is a big game for him because he has struggled down the stretch. This Ryan Fire offense hasn't scored a touchdown in 10 quarters, in 2.5 ball games, and that's the quarterback's responsibility, to take advantage of the big plays when they're there. Take what the defense gives them, don't try to force it, and take care of the football.
Blue 88. Blue 88.
Tight end Mark Thomas in motion. Jamal Robertson tries to follow him, but can't get any room. Stopped right at the line of scrimmage by a host of Berlin Thunder tacklers, led by Jonathan Jackson, the middle linebacker.
Now, one thing to watch here for this Ryan Fire offense is they were in 2 tight ends there. When they're in 2 tight ends, that's David Newman along with Mark Thomas, 83 and 88. They like to run the football. And that man's coming off because it's now a passing down. But when Jamal Robertson can get a rhythm, he's as dangerous a running back as there is in this league. Good receiver, good solid blocker. They've come out trying to throw the football more than run it to begin this game. Part of that is because of what Berlin is doing on defense.
Well, Ryan needs to get it to the 35 to keep the drive going. Martin under pressure. Decides to pull it down and run it.
Okay, guys.
He's going to fall just short of the first down as he was popped by Ante Jones.
It didn't sound like any quarterback on this. And he's a little slow getting up. He went head first. And, you know, in big games, the level of play gets raised. The hitting is going to be fierce today. Watch T pull this ball down. He becomes a running back now. He wants that first down. That's why you're supposed to slide. Ante Jones just put it on him. He tattooed him.
And Martin still down. Has yet to get up. Martin missed one game this season. You see Jones also slow to get up. Sometimes dishing it out can be just as rough.
Well, that was hat to hat, and last week T. Martin only threw the ball 5 times. He only played the first quarter because they wanted, if anything happened to him today, to have this backup Romaro Miller ready.
And there you see Miller from the Minnesota Vikings actually started one game this season because Martin missed it with a knee injury. In that final game, Martin only played 1 quarter, and so Miller got a lot of experience last week playing the final 3 quarters of that game against Amsterdam.
Well, for all fans that follow this league, it was just 4 years ago. The Ryan Fire beat the Frankfurt Galaxy. Their starting quarterback, Mike Quinn, was hurt in the final play of the game, regulation game. And in the World Bowl, Jim Arianis, their backup, came in and became the MVP of that game.
So in other words, there's precedent here in Ryan.
There's the center, Dustin Keith, talking to Romaro Miller. Warming him up, and it looks like he's got a few cobwebs in there.
I don't know if he knows what he's got in his head right now.
The smelling salt's got to come out right now. That's when they stick out those white things and they throw in front of your nose, and if the head snaps back, that means there's just cobwebs there.
Now keep in mind, because they stopped the clock due to his injury, that he had to go out of the game regardless. But this being a 4th down play, Ryan is on to punt. Dirk Johnson from the New Orleans Saints. Dane Looker back to receive for the Thunder from his 25. And a penalty marker on the play as he's brought down out of bounds. Our first flag of the day. Walt Anderson is our referee. Walt, normally a line judge in the NFL, actually worked Super Bowl 35. And that's going to be holding against Berlin.
And just like in the NFL Super Bowl, the best officials, they get rated throughout the season. The best ones get over here, and it's an honor to work the World Bowl game. They haven't begun to give T any tests yet. He's still got to shake this one off. That was a heck of a tattoo that he just took.
During the kick, holding, Berlin, number 35. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down, Berlin.
So Patrice Cancel called for the holding call there. We'll take a quick timeout from Dusseldorf. Thunder still on top, 3-0.
You know what you never see in car commercials? Real cars. Cars that have been around the block a few times. The kinds of cars that need new Castrol GTX high mileage. Specially engineered to protect against oil burn-off better than other leading motor oils. New Castrol GTX high mileage. It helps older cars feel young again.
Red Bull.
It gives you wings!
This is Eddie George of the Tennessee Titans. Eddie helps the United Way build stronger communities by supporting programs that create safer neighborhoods.
Come on, guys.
On the field, Eddie's work ethic is contagious. On the football field, it's contagious.
Come on, guys. Come on.
Slackers.
No more in the Red Sox, green in the Dodgers. Fox Saturday Baseball, today at a special time.
There's T. Martin, who's still trying to shake things out. He's shaking his neck, the jaw. I mean, everything got whacked, and here it is. I mean, championship football, the hitting's going to be fierce, and he challenges Ante Jones, and he got right on the button. You saw the ball come right out. He lost feeling probably right away. Just probably blacked out for a second.
Ante Jones not on his Christmas list, considering he picked him off on the first possession, second play, and then knocked him out in the third play of the second possession.
And Ante Jones is new to the team there. I mean, it's his first start for Berlin. Played for 2 other teams this year so far.
After the penalty, Berlin starting at its own 15. Anthony White trying to bounce it outside, but can't get around. Aaron Humphrey trips him up.
You know, the big fear of any of these teams in the NFL sending players over here is always the injuries. And, you know, we had a quarterback injured this year, Joe Hamilton from Tampa Bay. But I always think that football players are going to get injured. They got to get healthy. They got to come back from it. They got to come back from getting shaken up. That's part of the development of a pro football player.
Set. Black 80.
On second down, Husak completes it to his tight end, Ivan Mercer, the Redskin.
Here you go, Todd. Todd, your left, M23, excuse me, M25, naked. Left, M25, naked.
One of the things here in NFL Europe, you get to hear the plays called.
On three, left, M25 naked, on three, ready?
Now, you see, he said it's on 3 5 times because he's going to try and draw Ryan Fire offsides here with a hard count.
Set, boom. Black 30, black 30, hot.
They hold. Berlin has to cross the 25, pardon me, and they get the first down. Pass completed to Dane Looker, the St. Louis Ram.
Well, that's the league's leading receiver. Very safe play. On this bootleg here that they run. Watch that. He's going to take it up, take it in, and then come back out. Working against a very good cover corner, Earthwind Moreland. This is just going to be a bootleg. It's really a two-way go for Todd Husak. If he sees it's open to run, he'll run it. But Husak isn't known for his running. He likes to get the ball out quick. Good throw, catch, and a first down.
At the 34-yard line. Husak against the blitz, gets rid of it to Kenny Christian. No flags on the play. Adrian Sadler there to cover him.
Berlin runs a timing offense, timing patterns. And if you can get to Todd Husak, you're going to see a blitz coming right here from Tim Johnson, number 54, off the edge. Husak very decisive, though. Gets rid of the ball on the 5th step. Ball is out of there. No chance for the linebacker to get there. You see Husak today, 3-step and 5-step drops, and the ball is out. No indecisiveness.
White 90. White 90. Hot.
Back to pass again. Hands it off to Anthony White, and White has running room. Nice pickup of 12 yards and a first down. Brought down right at the 46-yard line by Jamel Smith.
Well, you know, Anthony White's a great story here in NFL Europe because he was actually cut by the Berlin Thunder at the start of the season. He had 3 running backs in training camp. They thought that the other 2 were better. So he went to Frankfurt, where he was on the scout squad there. And for 3 weeks, he kept his head up, He worked on his fundamentals. He stayed in shape. And he's been a valuable asset down the stretch for Berlin.
Already 4 carries for 24 yards today. Here comes the blitz again. Quick pass out to Looker.
All right, he's down, guys.
Deke Cooper wraps him up immediately.
No, we mentioned one good story after another over this league, Kurt. You know, Dane Looker caught 12 passes here the last time they played against Ryan. A lot like we're seeing here. This team is, I mean, here it is, just going to run to the open spot. I mean, just like you did in the driveway against your neighbor. They caught 12 passes last time they played. A lot of dink and dunk passes just like that. I'm going to take what the defense gives him.
Well, he's got 3 catches today, but for only 13 yards. Proof of dinking and dunking, I guess. White hitting the backfield, spins free. Nice run all the way out to the 46 of Ryan.
Now there's Ula Tuatelli, number 55, and Brandon Miller. And this defense here gave up the fewest points in the league. They didn't give up the fewest yards, Kurt, the fewest points. I think that's how you should measure defenses. They're going to give you the short passes. It's a defensive coordinator, Ed O'Neill. Big third down here. They want to try to get off the field. So when they tighten up there, they tend to blitz a little bit more on third down when they got to stop it.
And Berlin spreading them out, going with 4 wide receivers.
Look at this tight coverage all the way up here.
Devon Claybrooks jumped offside, and they got the ball snapped, so it's a free play, thrown incomplete to Dane Looker. But there's that communication between the center, Ben Hamilton, and the quarterback, Todd Husak. As soon as they saw someone jump, snap the ball.
Onside. Defense, number 93. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Huge mistake by Brandon Miller there. You know, on third and short, going to give him an automatic first down. We talked about Todd Husak using an unrhythmic count. Very good at drawing defenses off sides.
So it gives them a first down on the penalty. Ball spotted at the 41-yard line.
You'll notice Berlin here. Very methodical in how they move the football.
They're willing to be patient, aren't they?
Lester. Set. White 10. White
They stay with 4 wide receivers. Quick pass. Dane Looker. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Berlin Thunder. That's offensive coordinator Bob Bignow. I think he's pleased.
Yeah. You think they're a little charged up about this World Bowl and trying to defend their title? That's the combination we're talking about. Looker and Husak, a great feel, great chemistry amongst one another. One of the reasons why Looker led the league in receptions this year.
41 yards on the touchdown completion. Axel Kruse on for the extra point. And Kruse has now hit 76 in a row. Todd Husak hit Dane Looker for the first touchdown of World Bowl 10. It's 10-0.
Sure you can handle a test drive?
He knows everything in the world.
Accelerate into turns, trailer brake to the apex, draw the inside line correct, exit throttle oversteer.
Everything except who he is.
I need to report a missing person.
Filled out a Form 3021-B.
I'm the missing person.
Who is John Doe? Friday's Fox Fall.
The Mercy Health Report is brought to you by Pittsburgh Mercy Health System.
Heavy rain shower is great for cooling off summer's oppressive heat. However, it's important to take caution during any rainstorm. Lightning can strike without warning. Reacting as quickly as possible to a sudden storm could be a matter of life and death. If you can't find shelter, try to avoid open space and high ground, and stay away from trees. Don't be afraid to touch someone after a lightning strike. Their life is more than likely depending on immediate CPR. For more information, call the Pittsburgh Mercy Health System.
There is a hospital in our community where advanced heart procedures are commonplace and common things are done uncommonly well, where trauma surgeons are ever at the ready. Children are seen as well as heard, and patients are cared about, not simply cared for. You'll find capabilities that reach this far and doctors who stay this close at Mercy, because Pittsburgh deserves a higher caring.
Watch Seinfeld, weeknights at 7:30 on Fox 53.
Dane Looker, the St. Louis Ram, with a big play, capping off an 85-yard drive.
Does it beating press coverage. Here he is working against Cedric Donaldson. Beats him inside, no safety in the middle as they went for a blitz, but watch the pickup block here by Kenny Christian, number 5. Right there, knocking out Cedric Donaldson, opening up that lane for Looker to pay off.
Looker, a special story in his own right, spent time with 2 teams in the NFL, the St. Louis Rams and the New England Patriots. So you know,
bad, huh?
He was a heartbroken fellow watching
he was going to be a winner this year one way or the other.
But he wound up spending time watching it at home. Said he was a bit disappointed, knowing that those were the 2 teams that he'd been with earlier in the season. But the Rams have re-signed him and have to like what they've seen from him this season, leading NFL Europe in receptions and receiving yards. Well, Berlin is yet to give him a full kickoff to return back. Corey Alston scoops that one up. Can't break enough tackles. Finally brought down at the 35-yard line. 19 yards on the return. We'll be back.
What a day this has been. What a rare mood I'm in. Why, it's almost like being in love. There's a smile on my face for the whole.
Introducing Cool Contact Towels from Old Spice. Cool down anytime, anywhere.
I swear I was falling in love.
New Cool Contact. Splash one on.
Free long distance. No roaming. Nationwide. Did I mention free? Of course you have to be on our network, not their network. Our network is something.
Don't get trapped. Get Singular Nation. Never pay long distance, never pay roaming. It's that simple.
By free, we don't mean without charges. There will be charges, of course, what I'm trying to say.
Self-expression is simple with Singular Nation.
Welcome to Bag of Burgers.
Thanks, dude. Later.
Sometimes you just need a dog. The Big Bite. Oscar Mayer goodness with a Frito-Lay Big Grab and a Pepsi Gulp for $1.99.
You know what you never see in car commercials? Real cars. Cars that need new Castrol GTX high mileage. It protects against oil burn-off better than other leading motor oils. New Castrol GTX high mileage. It helps older cars feel young again.
A gangbanger ditches a stolen car.
He's running!
And puts police in the line of fire.
Drop the weapon!
Cops at 8/7 Central tonight on Fox.
Let's get after it now. Come on, let's go.
Hey, listen.
Hey, listen up. Heavy. Sometimes you just gotta feel it.
Let's go. Hey, get in the huddle. Let's go.
Make it happen. Say that again? You know what I'm talking about? I know you're ready to go kill somebody. Be smart.
Come on, we gotta speed it up.
Easy.
Time out.
I gotta pay a lot of bills for this TV time, huh?
The sounds of NFL Europe, sweet music to the fans of football everywhere. And this is a sweet sight for Ryan Fire fans as T. Martin back in the game after taking that big hit on the last possession.
Black 88. Black 88.
Starting from the 35, Tony Taylor now in at running back. And the Dallas Cowboy picks up 1 yard before being stopped by another member of the Cowboys, Keith Adams.
Yeah, T. Martin back in there after that hit. I guess he shook out the cobwebs. And, you know, he talked about how important this game was to him. You know, he won a national championship at Tennessee. And he's been holding a clipboard in Pittsburgh for a couple years, backing up Cordell Stewart. You know, one of the things you got to learn here is maybe how to slide. But that's the competitiveness in a sudden death championship game. You're going for it all, and why not? You got a month to rest before you go to training camp.
Red opposite. Blue 18. Blue 18.
Ryan going with 2 tight ends again. Taylor dancing his way out for a little running room. Fights out to the 42-yard line. Good enough for a pickup of 6.
Now, we're seeing them a couple times here, Kurt, kind of getting back to the basics of how Ryan Fire got here. You know, a double tight end look, letting the offensive line get into a rhythm. There's no rhythm on this team right now at all. and it's a very disjointed feeling. Down 10-0, but these guys can move bodies. They're earth movers. And you got to let them get a chance to get into a rhythm and start getting a feel for the game.
They've got to find a way to get it across the 45 for the first down. Taylor dancing around, escapes Dwayne Missouri and dives forward. Good enough for the first down.
When this team is going well, Kurt, they're in double tight end and they're running the football. They've got two talented backs, Tony Taylor, Jamal Robertson. Taylor is a little stronger. Strong lower body. He's going to start over here to the left and bounce it back and beat Dwayne Missouri here, hanging on the backside. They like this cutback style of running. That's just Taylor showing some strength and cutback ability.
On first, Taylor out of the backfield. Makes the one-handed grab, maybe shouldn't have. Loses 5 yards on the play. Dwayne Stukes stopped him in the open field.
Well, Dwayne Stukes has stopped a lot of people, Kurt. He was on this World Bowl team, championship team a year ago. He's Mike today. He's got a microphone on there today. He leads this team in tackles. He's the veteran back there. No, he's like their Lawyer Malloy, you know, of the New England Patriots. He's their veteran leader back there. He makes this defense go. He sets the defense, gets guys lined up. Made a huge play on that first down.
Martin with time. That's intercepted. Keith Adams with the pick, and he's got some blockers. All the way down to the 10-yard line, the second interception of the day for this Berlin Thunder defense.
Wonder if there's still some cobwebs in T. Martin's head, because that was just a poor throw. Poor read and a poor throw. Trying to force it. Keith Adams, who made a mark with the Dallas Cowboys this year on special teams. Typical Cowboy linebacker, a little undersized. Adams just going to drop into a pass zone here. T. Martin tried to look him out. That ball was going angling down, coming right out of his hand. Didn't look like it came out clean. Sam Young just laid out an offensive lineman.
And take your pound of flesh while you're at it.
Second interception here for Berlin, who tied Ryan in interceptions this year with 15.
Well, after the 42-yard return, they put a fullback in the game from the 10-yard line to the end zone. That's incomplete. Pass intended for Ivan Mercer.
In the one area of Todd Huzak's game this year, I think that could have been improved. Forces the ball a lot down here. Threw a couple interceptions last week. You know, threw 14 of them this year. Seemed a lot of them were down inside the 20-yard line.
Well, he threw 14 touchdowns, but the 14 interceptions counterbalanced it, and so many of those came through the last 3 to 4 weeks.
His favorite receiver is out of the game, Dane Looker. Just ran off the field. I don't know if they had the right personnel in there.
This is the first timeout. Ryan, this is a 30-second timeout.
So the Ryan Fire called the timeout.
Yeah, you're a little late seeing him. He did beat the guy off.
I looked at Jeff first.
Yeah, I know. Then
You can hit double right fade. So easy.
Okay, it's all right. We just haven't thrown it. The last time he threw it 5 yards out of bounds. We haven't practiced it since. You got great ideas. Why don't you have these on Tuesday?
Hey, rough stop.
Yeah, that's just okay. Yeah, rough.
Were you
okay, here we go. We've got right over. H in, H cross. Wait, we got one or the other. Let's go. Right over, H in, H cross.
You heard the head coach Peter Voss mention, why don't you come up with these on Tuesday? They told us that he allows his quarterbacks every now and then to suggest a play.
Well, he drew up 2 of them for us in a meeting a couple days ago. Sat down there, got the pen out, the paper, and said, this is what I'm going to do here against quarters, you know, when they press coverage. Here's his favorite target, Dane Looker here.
Set.
Looks like he's going to take it in.
Wag, 90 hot.
Husak. Short pass, incomplete. Throwing to Looker, but Earthwind Moreland there to break it up.
Now they have such a good feel for one another. I mean, that time Looker was just running across the field. Imagine trying to go across 5th Avenue at rush hour. You know, dodging traffic, trying to get through there. You get yourself a nice little pick sometimes.
Well, especially when everyone knows you're coming.
Max.
just called max. That's max protection. He's going to keep a tight end in
55
on the left side. Jeff Kostreva to give him a little extra protection.
White 10. White and hot.
On 3rd and goal. Rolling out. And that one's thrown away, incomplete. Kwame Cavill, the nearest receiver, but he was covered tightly by Adrian Sadler.
Well, you mentioned it, Kurt, the tight coverage. You see it all the way up here. You know, and then they have some safety help back here. So, you know, you've got to run some kind of a crossing route in order to get somebody free in that coverage. Huzak didn't see it and smartly just threw the ball away. The Ryan Fire defense wins on that series.
Berlin going to settle for the 27-yard field goal attempt by Axel Kruse. And that's up and good. 2 turnovers, 2 field goals with a touchdown in between. It's 13-0. And Kruse is a favorite of the fans back in Berlin. Of course, he was a former soccer star. And his story, I mean, talk about an interesting story. He sat down and told us the other day.
Yeah, you know, Axel Kruse in 1989 defected from East Berlin, where he felt like he was basically a prisoner being followed everywhere by Secret Service. They had files and they had papers on him. And he was on a trip, on a soccer trip to Copenhagen. And he had arranged in advance somebody that was going to pick him up in Copenhagen and take him then to West Germany, the free side of Berlin in 1989. And he said he was nervous as can be. He was worried for his family, his mom and dad, his sister, because if you get caught, it was 3 years in jail. And, you know, after you go through that type of experience, these field goals that he's kicked and extra points where he's perfect this year, I'm telling you, that's the smile you have. Everything is a day at the beach after you've defected from communist Berlin at that time.
Well, he is a guy who certainly smiles a lot, and listening to the story was like listening to a James Bond movie almost.
Well, he also has a bar in Berlin, and the whole team goes there after the game. It's the one kicker I've met where the team loves the kicker.
Well, they may like Danny Boyd the way he's avoiding the Ryan Fire every time he kicks it off. Penalty flags on the play as Corey Alston fights his way out to the 35. That's going to be holding on Ryan.
Going to give him bad field position to start. And the mistakes have been made by Ryan here in the first quarter, enough of them probably to last a whole season for head coach Pete Kaharchik.
Holding. Number 1 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down, Ryan.
The penalty called on DJ Dinkins. There's still a member of the Fire that's down right now.
Well, Kurt, it's not how you start, but it's how you finish. This team won 6 of their last 7. Ryan Fire were 4-1 halfway through the season. They struggled. Even in their wins, they struggled. I mean, they really haven't played well, I think, since the last time they played Berlin about a month ago.
Corey Alston is the injured member of the Ryan Fire, the guy who just returned the ball, and that doesn't look good. You see, he can't put any weight on that right leg. Alston, a member of the New York Jets, has actually been their best player, maybe on offense and special teams the last couple of weeks, returning 2 kicks for touchdown.
Well, he scored the Ryan Fire's last 3 touchdowns over the last 3 weeks. 2 on kickoff returns and 1 against Barcelona, the pride of Camden, New Jersey. Same high school that's turned out Mike Rozier, former Heisman Trophy winner, along with DeJuan Wagner, high school basketball player that scored 100 points, but that leg dangling wasn't good.
When you mentioned this being the championship game of NFL Europe, the last 4 quarters of football here before you head to NFL training camp. Never do you want to see an injury, but certainly not at this time.
That's Tim Hasselbeck, the backup quarterback for Berlin, and he's gotten some reps this year.
Well, he plays about a series a game, and as Peter Voss told us, he likes to put him in when the offense is going well. So up 13-0, we may see him soon. First down for Ryan, Jamal Robertson. Tripped up, falls forward to the 29-yard line. Keith Adams on the tackle.
Now for T. Martin, I mean, he threw a bad pass in the last play, and he struggled here. He's thrown for less than 50% completions this year, but he's got to shake it off. Part of being quarterback is shaking all that off. This team can lull you to sleep with the running game, but they will play action pass and take their shots deep on offense.
Martin only 1 of 4 with 14 yards and 2 interceptions so far. To the air. That's a bad throw in the direction of Jimmy Robinson. He came in, the throw went out.
He turned his back on the inside. All he can is cover 3.
Yeah, he just gave his reaction to Jimmy Robinson. He said the cornerback was inside. I thought you're going outside. Watch, Ahmed Hawkins is playing inside here. So he thought his wide receiver was going to come outside, and he never did. And you hate to see that in the 11th week of the season, that type of miscommunication.
This is the end of the first quarter.
So the first quarter not necessarily going T. Martin and the Rhine Fire's way, but Dane Looker and the Berlin Thunder have to be enjoying it. They lead World Bowl 10 by 13 after 1.
I love football on TV, shots of Gina Lee, hanging with my friends and twins. I love burritos at 4 a.m., parties that never end, dogs that love cats, and twins. And I love you too. It's a love song.
The 2002 All-Star Game, July 9th on Fox.
I've got to tell people about Chi-Chi's and their guarantee. Are you aware of Chi-Chi's new guarantee?
The food is that good that we guarantee it.
You guys go to Chi-Chi's and try the food?
That would be good.
They've got new Southwestern grilled specialties. How's the Santa Fe chicken?
That was my favorite.
It is absolutely wonderful. I have the Santa Fe steak. This has 2, and it's very good.
Good food, good service.
Totally salsified. Totally salsified.
Try new Southwestern grilled specialties at Chi-Chi's, where your total salsification is now guaranteed, where your meal is free.
It's not a felony to tell people about a guarantee.
You can be sure you're getting the very best price possible when you shop at Mattress Discounters. We guarantee it with our 5% low price guarantee. If you find a lower price anywhere on comparable product, even up to 2 months later, let us know and we'll beat it by 5% or more. At Mattress Discounters, we make it easy to get a new mattress at a low, low price, guaranteed. Just one more great reason to shop at America's largest mattress retailer.
Watch Seinfeld, weeknights at 7:30 on Fox 53.
I'll tell you, tennis really misses that guy. Former Wimbledon champion Boris Becker, who brought a lot of excitement to the tennis crowd, brought some excitement to this football stadium beforehand, conducting the opening coin toss.
I'll never forget him. Breakfast at Wimbledon in 1985. 18-year-old kid coming out of Germany, took the whole tournament by storm. And like any big championship games, you're always going to get a few dignitaries that come and want to watch and be a part of it.
Well, Becker likes to brag about the fact that he's been to a Super Bowl, went to Super Bowl 34 in Atlanta. Martin to the air. Going for Robinson. Jimmy Robinson lays out and makes the catch. 28 yards on the reception.
Kurt, that's the big play I'm talking about from T. Martin. That they'll lull you to sleep and then they're going to go up top. Here you see play action pass. Going to hold the linebacker here, just freeze him. Let Jimmy Robinson work down the sideline against Sam Young.
Let's go.
First big play from this Fire offense all afternoon.
Red check. Blue 10. Blue 10.
Jamal Robertson dancing in the backfield and brought down. Nice open field tackle by Sam Young, the Denver Bronco.
You know, part of the offense of the Rhine Fire is the cutback run. And Berlin is doing a great job of taking that away early in the game. They've got somebody holding on the backside each play. And so it's difficult. It's difficult for Jamal to find that backside crease that he likes.
Getting going is not the problem. It's, as you said, trying to cut back. Robertson, 3 carries, only 4 yards so far.
Black 10. Black 10.
Pump fake. Martin being chased. Another diving catch. Out of bounds, incomplete. Boy, Robinson certainly hustling.
Well, he came back to the football here. He was chased out of the pocket. You know, this is just one of these throws you got to make on the run. I mean, he's got his man. Just let him a little too much. It's a tough catch. The difference between completions and incompletions in the league is just inches. And that's how accurate you have to be at the NFL level.
On third down, they need the 30 for the first. Berlin on the blitz. Martin up top, intended for Robinson, out of bounds, and another incompletion. So after the big catch of 28 yards, nothing doing.
And give a lot of credit to the Berlin defense right now. They're taking away the run. And they said today that we've got to make T. Martin beat us. He was upset with that comment, Kurt. You know, it was like he took it personally, and he should. But right now, he's not beating him.
Dirk Johnson on the punt to Dane Looker. Johnson, the All-NFL Europe League punter this season from the New Orleans Saints. And that's a fake. DJ Deakins. And he's still going to be short of the first down. Stopped by Jude Waddy, just about a yard shy.
Ball is short of the line of game. Ball will be Berlin's ball, first down.
So Berlin will take over right at the 31-yard line, leading it 13-0.
To show just how important Haviland motor oil is to engines, right before this critical time trial, we secretly removed every drop of Haviland oil from Ricky Rudd's 800 horsepower engine. Let's see how he does. Yikes. Further proof that racers like Ricky Rudd can't do without the protection of Haviland. Hey!
Give it your all. Oh. Give it Haviland.
I didn't know.
Cheer up, my son. Taco Bell is open late. So spice up your night with the grilled stuffed burrito. When it is late, think outside the bun.
No more in the Red Sox, green in the Dodgers. Fox Saturday Baseball, today at a special time.
You are the worst singer in America.
The hit series American Idol's secret weapon is Simon Cowell. The New York Daily News calls him TV's newest reality show villain.
It was pathetic. Seriously, just pathetic. Your audition was horrendous.
Don't miss what Simon says this week on American Idol, the summer's TV sensation at 9 Fox Tuesday.
The World Bowl on Fox is brought to you by Haviland, a Chevron Texaco product. By Taco Bell, think outside the bun. By your neighborhood 7-Eleven store. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven. And by Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light. Cold, down, easy.
Early in the second quarter of World Bowl 10, the defending NFL Europe champions, the Berlin Thunder, lead the Rhein Fire, who are hosting this game here at Rhein Stadion, 13-0. Kurt Menefee along with Brian Baldinger and a few of our closest friends. Are they incognito?
Well, that shield is up there in case I think the thing backfires. You know, because I can't believe that in this heat today that you want to cover yourself up. And I think there's a little smoke that comes out of there, and I think you're just... And then it's the kind of a visor, too, so it protects them against the sun as well.
It's got everything but the suntan lotion on. Berlin takes over on down. Hasselbeck now in at quarterback. Incomplete pass. Tim Hasselbeck, a member of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, it's over 50,000, a sea of just pure football fans here in Germany. You know, in the World Cup yesterday, Germany and the USA played. This sport is much bigger than soccer. And I think when this league started up 10 years ago that nobody thought that could ever be possible. But they're in love with our American game.
The pitch to Anthony White. He's wrapped up. Short gain of maybe 2 yards. Brandon Miller, the first guy to hit him.
That's the brother of Matt Hasselbeck, quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks. Tim out of Boston College and been backing up over here this year, member of the Philadelphia Eagles. Andy Reid had his brother when Andy Reid was the quarterback coach at Green Bay. That's We got familiar with the whole Hasselbeck family. Of course, his father was a member of the New England Patriots.
He's got to get him to the 41-yard line for the first down here. Up top, Jörg Heckenbach, and he gets enough for the first down. 15-yard pickup.
You know, we just showed those fans from Germany. I mean, you can't be a fan if you don't have a couple of German national players to cheer for. Jörg Heckenbach's been over here for a couple of years. He was voted as the most valuable national German player in the league this year.
Was the national player on offense in all of NFL Europe.
Always got an all-American smile on his face every time you see him.
Quick pass out to Looker. Dane Looker brought down right near that first down marker by Greg Brown.
Talking about Heckenbach here, he gets a chance to throw a block this time for Dane Looker. Just a quick bubble screen here, and this ball's going to come out quick, but watch Heckenbach at the bottom. He's so much bigger than the corner. He really stay with his block that good. Trying to act cool like Boris Becker. A lot of catches for Looker already today.
And looks like they're talking about the spot of this football. Bringing out the change to see if he got enough for the first down.
Yeah, it's going to be just a couple of links of the chain away. But I was watching a flag football game in Germany yesterday, Kurt. These kids are getting it. You know, and there's a lot of football being played here. Over 14,000 here in Germany. You know, and you got the Crocodiles here. You know, you got the Virgin Guards.
I love the names.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, and they got a couple women's teams too as well. I don't know if I think the women's teams could be just as tough. Looking at some of the Helgas here. You know, I think they could be just as tough as some of the men's teams.
My friend, I am staying away from you as we leave the stadium today.
See, you got to come to the stadium with the football.
And the earplugs.
Just cradle it. Yeah. That's the noise.
They like to make noise throughout the game. You hear the whistles now. You'll hear singing. This is a fun atmosphere to watch football in. On second and short, Hasselbeck on the keeper.
Just looking at Jörg Heckenbach at the top. He just signaled the first down. He looks like an old man walking back to the huddle. Kind of got a limp going.
That's because he laid himself out for that block last time.
Well, we were watching that World Cup game all together, the Germans and the Americans yesterday. And the Germans said that if the Americans won, that we had to leave the hotel. You know, but then when they won that thing by that thrilling, unbelievable score of 1-0.
1-0, partner,
yeah,
1-0.
1-0, yeah. Americans need more scoring.
Anthony White wrapped up in the backfield. The German, Anthony Dogme, stops him.
Yeah, right now, the Rhine Fire looking a lot like that American team with 0 on the board. And I think if they're going to change that, the defense has to make a play because the offense is struggling. And so when that happens, I mean, this is the #1 ranked defense in the league. Forced a lot of turnovers this year. They're going to have to start taking a few more chances. Right now, Todd Huzak is dinking and dunking his team right down the field. Well, that's Hasselbeck doing the same thing.
He's got 3 receivers. Ryan on the blitz. Ball batted by Tim Johnson, incomplete. Johnson, a member of the Chicago Bears, led all of NFL Europe in tackles this season.
Yeah, just coming off the outside this time as a rush end. I tell you, we've been around him a lot. His nickname is Grip. The Bears nicknamed him the Grip because his hands are so strong. The whole for his body are. They got a plant in the middle of that table there, trying to create some atmosphere as they circle around, getting the surround sound view.
Berlin needs the 31. White spinning, but won't get close to it. Stopped about 6 yards short of the first down. Corey Callens and Mao Tuateli on the tackle. And so Hasselbeck's first time as the leader of the offense. Going to be stopped short. Going to bring up the first punting situation of the day for Berlin. And there's a dangerous return man for Ryan and Jordan Younger, who has 1 kickoff return for a touchdown this season. Ryan Morton, the Minnesota Viking, on the punt. sky high.
Wow.
That ball down inside the 5-yard line. Excellent punt as Jorg Heckenbach stops it right at the 3. Only 34 yards, but exactly what they needed here on special teams.
At Aaron's, it always costs less, a whole lot less. Take this giant 52-inch big screen TV with picture-in-picture. At Rent-A-Center, it's $135.96 a month for 30 months. But don't be fooled, do the math. That's over $4,078. At Aaron's, it's $99.99 a month for 24 months. So you save over $1,439 and you own it 6 months sooner. You're automatically pre-approved, you don't need credit, and you get the guaranteed lowest price. So why pay more? Do the math. Call Aaron's. Find the seams. It's the splitter. No, it's the high heat.
Did I lock my keys in the car? Is that so, sir? Going for my Pepsi. Sammy.
The 1-liter Big Slam from Pepsi. More of the taste you go for.
Her friend Julia lives.
This is Chris Samuels of the Washington Redskins. Chris helps the United Way build stronger communities by supporting childhood development programs. Chris is an emotional player.
They were no longer little girls, they were little women. Here's your book, Mr. Samuels.
That's not my book.
Yes, it is. It has your name in it.
Okay.
Emotional.
The Best Damn Sports Show Period's All-Star Summer kicks off with Leanne Tweeden, sprinters of Hollywood Sports Trivia Challenge.
It's risque, but it's just hot.
And is Adam Sandler after Tom's job on Best Damn? Best Damn's All-Star Summer next week on Fox Sports Net.
After we are done here with World Bowl 10 in Germany, Fox Saturday Baseball comes up next. Interleague play continues. The Red Sox and Dodgers, Cardinals and Cubs, and Yankees and Padres. And our understanding is Joe Buck will be doing that Cardinals and Cubs game. And, of course, our condolences go out to Joe Buck and the entire Buck family on the passing of his father, a legend in this business, Jack Buck.
No question about it. I worked with Joe this year, and people would trip over the booth to get in there to lend a story about his dad, Jack. Nobody more proud than Joe, and eulogized him pretty well, I think, this week at Busch Stadium.
Romaine, Missouri, making a stop, pulling down Tony Taylor at the 2-yard line.
Oh, we got microphones all over the field today, Kurt, and Mike is the safety, Dwayne Stukes, who led this team in tackles today. Over there on the sidelines right now, getting a breather, getting ready to come back in.
Do we need to hear what that sounds like? Taylor fights out to the 5. Jonathan Jackson, the New Orleans Saint, with the tackle. So this is a big possession by this Berlin Thunder defense, having Ryan Penn inside their 5-yard line to start. And now they've got him in a 3rd and long situation.
Yeah, and, you know, and this is a chance for Berlin to really come after him and take a chance here. And then it's, when they do that, you know, these fans are just trying to find something to cheer for right now. But Berlin has a number of blitz packages in, and I expect them to come after him and put some pressure on him here.
They hand it off to Taylor, and Taylor is going to be stopped after a short pickup of 3. Jesse Warren celebrating Tarzan style after the tackle.
Well, he was, because Jesse Warren just got back to the team this week. He started out with the Thunder this year, and then he went to Amsterdam for a couple of weeks because they had some injuries. He's just happy to be back here trying to get a ring. He was part of that World Bowl champion team just a year ago.
So Dirk Johnson forced to punt from his own end zone. Dane Looker right at midfield. Looker being backed up. What a kick. Inside the 40 at the 38 he starts. And he's tripped up by DJ Dinkins. 53 yards on the kick, only 4 on the return.
A deranged bomber targets a forensic doctor. Help take a madman off the streets. America's Most Wanted, all new at 9/8 Central tonight on Fox.
right on target. Now, Grecian 5 hair color targets only your gray hair to leave subtle tones like your own natural color, all in 5 easy minutes. Grecian 5 targets only the gray.
Monday come, we rock the party, gonna get me some. We rock the party. Wednesday rocks, we rock the party. Ain't never gonna stop, we rock the party. Everybody rock, we rock the party. Come on, let's rock the party.
Who is it?
Sasha and Amber. It's time to rock, let's rock the party.
I can't believe this.
After everything we've taught you.
My own daughter. Getting her tongue pierced. Without shopping around for the best price.
Our customers know the importance of shopping around because at Progressive.com you can get our price for car insurance plus the rates of other big-name companies.
Your brother got a good deal on his body piercing.
You could save hundreds. Call Progressive today.
I love how he looks in his uniform, but his old dandruff shampoo wasn't up to black. So I bought him some Selsun Blue moisturizing shampoo. It's doctor recommended with aloe and moisturizers.
No more flakes, no more dry scalp. Never wear black without the blue. Selsun Blue.
Watch Seinfeld, weeknights at 7:30 on Fox 53.
That's what they're playing for, 41 pounds of crystal, known as the World Bowl Championship.
You know, these guys, though, they make a lot of sacrifices in order to win that World Bowl. Just the living conditions alone aren't easy for any of these guys. First of all, Europe's not made for men that size. Nothing is. The buildings aren't, the cars aren't. That's the Relaxa Hotel where the Rhine Fire live, and there's nothing relaxing about being inside that hotel. I mean, you know, you get choked. The elevator's too small, the bed's too small, but that's their home to improve over here.
Husak back in at quarterback, going up top. Adjustment made, and the catch is out of bounds, incomplete. Kwame Cavell, who just came to this team this week, can't pull it in inbounds.
We've been in these elevators now for 6 years. And this is the big elevator in Europe. At the Relaxa, you can actually get 3 bodies in there. Now, they have to kind of suck it in order to fit in there. You know, and then it's always a question of whether it's going to move because there's like a weight limits on there, too.
Do you want to get on with the big fellas if that's the problem?
I saw Brandon Miller get in an elevator yesterday, and I had to get out because there wasn't any room for 2 of us to stand shoulder to shoulder.
That's why they call them lifts here, not elevators.
Black 80! Black 80!
Husak. That's out of bounds. Jamel Kelly, the nearest receiver.
On that, the big guy yesterday, he found himself a bicycle just to take a little ride.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that one. Is that a big wheel? Is that what he's on?
How do you stop that thing? You know, I mean, first of all, you got to notice the foot. Where is the pedal? You know, you got a size 16 slipper on a pedal that's made, looks like for, you know, a preschooler.
How'd you like to be those tires?
Yeah, and there's the pedal there.
They need the 48 of Rhine. Husak going to throw 3 incompletions and call it a series. Aaron Humphrey on the chase.
I think he was getting uncomfortable from us talking about
the big fellas coming at him.
Yeah, talking about Brandon Miller coming at him. I think he heard that. First time the Rhine Fire was really able to shut him down, I think. This man's been a dangerous returner. He took a punt back the last time these 2 teams played that broke the game open when it was tied. Always going to try and field every single punt and try to make a play. And sometimes he'll go backwards to go forwards.
And that's Jordan Younger. He'll take the punt from Brian Morton. And that one bounces down at the 20-yard line. Was spotted just shy of the 21.
That's been the story today for the Rhine Fire offense, is just the inability of T. Martin really put his team in a good position. Got hit early and coughed up a football, and then made a bad throw where Keith Adams was sitting right in the passing lane, took one back. This one he gets hit by Dwayne Missouri on the first series, and it got intercepted by Ante Jones. So 2 first-half turnovers that led to points by Berlin.
Martin has struggled, 2 of 8 passing with those 2 interceptions.
Check. Blue 10.
Jamal Robertson on the carry. Robertson stopped right at the line of scrimmage. There's Keith Adams, the Dallas Cowboy, his third tackle.
And that guy's making a name for himself today. Interceptions to tackles, and kind of an interesting guy. We talked to him just yesterday. You know, his nickname when he was in college at Clemson was Termite. The Cowboys, the nickname as in Tasmanian Devil. Nice play off the block going low.
You mentioned Hasselbeck's father played with the New England Patriots. So did Keith Adams, his dad, Julius Adams, a member of the Patriots. And Jimmy Robinson slides for the catch. Pickup of 8 yards on the play.
Just a basic quick slant on the outside. Jimmy Robinson trying to get inside of Ahmed Hawkins, who led the league in passes defense this year. Pretty good corner.
14, check 15. A 1-on-1.
Brings up a 3rd and short for Ryan.
Yeah, either 14 or 15, depending on where the linebackers play, which is right off tackle.
Black 10.
Robertson lowers his head, but not going to get there.
Oh, yeah. Boy, those guys are excited by Berlin, too. They know that they're dominating the line of scrimmage right now. And really, the Berlin team, they go as the way the defensive line goes. When the defensive line is controlling the line of scrimmage like they do here, and they have all game. Look at that. Look at the penetration here. They're playing defense on the other side of the line of scrimmage. When they start penetrating like that, everything in Berlin goes well. Special teams goes well. Offense plays better.
Dirk Johnson on the punt to Looker again. He fakes it. See if he can outrun the Thunder. Can't get there. Trying to dive for the first down. Bubba Alexander hit him just short of the marker.
And give the Berlin Thunder credit. That's a second fake now by Ryan today, taking all the chances they can get. And they've been alert. It sure looks like it's going to be short, but they have to bring the chains from the other side of the field to measure. These guys got to get a little jog in. 53.5 yards.
Get a little workout before halftime.
I like the way Earthwind has played this year. He was an all NFLEurope selection. Making the most of his opportunities over here this year. With the Cleveland Browns, you see it on his jersey here. That's the allocation, a member of that team. Going back there in camp in a month from now.
On second down, Martin. This time gets it to Ojo. Anime Ojo, the New Orleans Saint, into Berlin territory. Sam Young on the stop. And the Rhine Fire, you talked about the defense maybe picking up the offense. They did their part. Now a third down. See what the offense can do for Ryan.
I think let's go one tray. 60 wide next drive. A 1-on-1. Hey, come back.
Yeah, he's got a comeback coming to Jimmy Robinson right here. He's got a wide cross coming across the middle.
But he's got to make sure he's across the 44 for the first. Martin going for that and more. Robinson stopped. It's incomplete.
Well, remember, he told him to come back to the ball, and that's what he did. And maybe he's got so much going through his head here that, you know, that he forgot what he told him. I mean, here, this is not a comeback route, folks. This is just a straight fly. No, that's what Jimmy was running. He was running a down and stop, and he didn't throw what he told him. Yeah. And just a look of dejection. I think that kind of says it all so far about the Fire.
They failed to take advantage of the turnover. So Dirk Johnson on the punt to Dane Looker. Looker calling for the fair catch, makes it right about the 13-yard line. 36 yards on the kick.
Congratulations, my friend. Your youthful curiosity has served you well, and you will be rewarded with a nice vanilla Coke. I believe you'll find a delicate hint of vanilla flavor alluring, the taste smooth. It's a beautiful thing. Thanks for stopping by. Jimmy. Reward your curiosity with new vanilla Coke.
2002 All-Star Game, July 9th on Fox.
When I wear black, even a little dandruff shows. And my old dandruff shampoo just wasn't cutting it. So I switched to Selsun Blue Moisturizing Shampoo. Doctor recommended for flakes and itch, with aloe and moisturizers for healthier hair and scalp. Never wear black without the blue. Selsun Blue.
For 15 years, Ford has sold more trucks, minivans, and SUVs than anyone else.
There's no stopping us now.
Now we're out for more. And during the drive for dominance, we'll do just about anything to get it.
There's nothing gonna stand in our way.
Don't let anything stand in the way of your getting $2,500 cash back or 0.9 APR on a best-selling F-150. With more available torque than Chevy, Dodge, or Toyota.
No stopping us now.
Make your move to your neighborhood Ford dealer now.
Right on target. Now, Grecian 5 hair color targets only your gray hair to leave subtle tones like your own natural color, all in 5 easy minutes. Grecian 5 targets only the gray.
Friends, weeknights at 6 and 7 on Fox 53.
Oh, T. Martin and the Rhine Fire offense in the midst of their 13th consecutive quarter without a touchdown. Right now, they'd be happy just to get some points here in World Bowl 10 as they trail 20-0. At home in front of a sold-out crowd here for World Bowl 10. As a matter of fact, the largest crowd at a World Bowl since NFL Europe started up in its second incarnation. Anthony White on first down.
By the way, folks, if you're just tuning in, the Rhine Fire here haven't scored a point, but there's no city named Rhine. The city here is Dusseldorf, and pretty fair-sized city, part of a valley here of over 20 million people, the most densely populated area in all of Europe, actually. And the Rhine River runs a big course, and there it is. So there's traffic on the river, just the way there is on the Mississippi back in the United States. A lot of nice ports along the way.
The Rhine River, 800 miles long. That pass thrown into no man's land, incomplete. But the fans, they come from all over. You mentioned not just the town of Dusseldorf, but this entire region.
Well, you know, part of the reason why this bowl here is completely sold out is this is the last game in this stadium.
Last event, period.
Yeah, you know, and these people enjoy coming here. The atmosphere, I mean, it's easy to get to. And even though they're getting shut out right now, they've only lost 2 games the last 3 years here, so they've had a lot more success in the stadium.
Berlin needs the 24 for the first. Busak throws it too hard for Cavell. Quick 3 and out for Berlin.
You know, we mentioned that the offense is struggling, so you got to pick it up on defense. They did. Earth, Wind, Moreland last series, and then special teams is an area where Ryan can excel as well. They got a punt returner back there, Jordan Younger. Last time these 2 teams met, took one back from this position. He said this is the most exciting thing in football to do, to return punts.
We'll take the kick from Brian Morton. Morton standing at his own 2-yard line. Got it off. It rolls out of bounds right at the 47. Only 30 yards on that kick.
Staying or going?
So after the 30-yard punt, Ryan has excellent starting field position at the 47. They're ready to soak him up, aren't they?
1, 2, 3. All right. Na 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 na. Come on, y'all.
Pontiac has a new vibe, starting at $16,900. Pontiac's in overdrive. See your dealer today.
Ah, Rapunzel, my cupcake. Does I love a boy?
Wait a moment, darling. I'll just let my hair down.
Ooh, too short by a hair's breadth.
Then you'll just have to wait for my hair to grow.
What? I
might have gone bald by then.
Well, happy day, gone tomorrow.
All you need is a Red Bull.
Why? Because Red Bull gives you wings.
Yes, but it also stimulates the mind, so get downstairs and open the blooming door.
This is Eddie George of the Tennessee Titans. Eddie helps the United Way build stronger communities by supporting programs that create safer neighborhoods.
Come on, guys.
On the field, Eddie's work ethic is contagious. On the football field, it's contagious.
Come on, guys. Come on.
Slackers.
This summer, Fox presents an all-new season of Beyond Belief.
Anybody down here?
Every Thursday, see 5 incredible stories. You must decide what is true and what is beyond belief. The 2-hour season premiere starts at 8 Fox Thursday.
The wide receiver, Corey Alston of the New York Jets, in street clothes after spraining his right knee earlier on in the game, and that's a big weapon missing for this Ryan Fire offense.
Well, valuable on special teams, and a guy that kind of played a little angry this year over here. Not really accepting his role as a non-starter, but picking it up on the special teams.
Fire began on first down at the 47. Tony Taylor picks up 2 yards. Dwayne Stukes with the stop.
Yeah, in the middle of that defensive line is the biggest man in NFL Europe. Tordell Sands here in the middle. Good job of coming around. We said they were going to rotate defensive linemen, keeping him fresh. Tordell, though, not even the biggest member of his family. He had a bunch of brothers that tower over him.
Martin. Quick pass out to Jimmy Robinson. Robinson's become his favorite receiver today.
It hasn't been easy for Tordell over here either. I mean, first of all, he has to duck just to get into his room. That's the, you know that he's bumped his head on that a few times, and you got the entire lower leg hanging over the bed. That's not fair for a big man. And this looks like a water pick that he has to shower himself with every day. Yeah, playing football is a lot easier than dealing with that living condition of his.
Hey, that's all Europe. As we said before, not made for big men. Tony Taylor twisting and turning for 4 yards.
Now, Tordell Sands, the guy, is an interesting story because he only played 1 year of college football, but he was drafted by the Kansas City Chiefs last year in the 7th round. Here's just playing off the center. Dustin Keith got rid of him. Gave up his legs a little bit too quickly. But, I mean, first of all, you can't find shoes for those dogs. And then the dogs never get any rest at night because they're hanging.
Martin. Wow. Robinson inside the 10.
Now they're connecting.
25 yards on the pass.
It didn't take long for those guys to start waving the flags. Now they get down here. Now they have to punch it in. Working on Sam Young here. Young taking a look in this too long back in the backfield. This play breaks down. Now Jimmy Robinson comes alive for the ball. And the receivers are big with the Ryan Fire. None of them under 6 feet.
Blue 10.
First and goal. Tony Taylor through a hole into the end zone. Touchdown, Ryan Fire.
Sometimes all you need is a spark. The fans are alive. They're awake. T. Martin made a play on that drive. Jimmy Robinson put him in position there.
Robinson, a couple of big catches, including the 25-yarder that set up the 6-yard score by Taylor. Manfred Bergsmuller on for the extra point. And he gets it through. 5 plays, 47 yards in just 2 minutes, 16 seconds, and the Fire on the board.
Hey, Kenny, thanks for setting up this workout with the WWE Superstars.
Yeah, suggesting they help us toughen up for the next race was a great idea.
Did I say toughen up? I meant tough enough.
Hi, girls.
I hope you boys took your Stacker 2s because it's going to be a long day.
You know, Stacker 2 really does give you that extra boost of energy.
And it helps burn fat and crush cravings.
If the boys are getting tired, I've got some Stacker 2 in the car.
Stacker 2, it's the world's strongest fat burner.
I need the number for a Jeff Gordon.
You know what you never see in car commercials? Real cars. Cars that need new Castrol GTX high mileage. It protects against oil burn-off better than other leading motor oils. New Castrol GTX high mileage. It helps older cars feel young again.
Welcome to Bag of Burgers.
Thanks, dude. Later.
Sometimes you just need a dog. The Big Bite. Oscar Mayer goodness with a Frito-Lay Big Grab and a Pepsi Gulp for $1.99.
This week on the hit series American Idol, the first 10 finalists gave their all.
Eagles forget how to fly.
Sensational.
And after millions of you voted for your favorites, the top 3 were chosen.
Oh my God. I respect the vote. I don't agree with the vote.
While the others said goodbye. This Tuesday, the next 10 finalists compete head-to-head. And after watching the show,
this is about being the best.
It's your vote that again decides who moves on in the competition. Then Wednesday, be there live as the winners are announced. American Idol, the TV sensation, continues Tuesday and Wednesday on Fox.
Fox News personalities Shepard Smith, Geraldo Rivera, and Bill O'Reilly come together for a unique new look at the world. The Pulse, coming Thursday, July 11th to Fox.
The Dallas Cowboy Tony Taylor getting the fire on the board and within 13 here in the second half of World Bowl II.
And there's
World Bowl
plenty of
10.
time. Yeah, World Bowl 10 here, Kurt. No, first, yeah, you see, it's been a long drought. And so that, you know, when an offense goes that long without scoring, there's no confidence. But it can change in an instant. You see it all the time. And now the crowd's into it. And the defense has made some plays. They've shut down Berlin in the second half. They have to keep it going.
Jason Witzak with the kickoff. That's Ahmad Hawkins, the Kansas City Chief. Hawkins with running room. Chased out by Jordan Younger.
That touchdown run by Tony Taylor is an offensive lineman's dream. Watch these right feet all stepping together. Boom. See that? It's musical and it's rhythmic. And then when they all get going together and they all stay low, watch the white shirts move. It allows Tony Taylor here to take a nice walk into the end zone. That was a waltz into the end zone. A German waltz into the end zone. And it's been a long time since they've had something to cheer about in the end zone. 13 quarters without a touchdown.
But Berlin with excellent starting field position from the 46. Husak, quick pass. He somehow got it in there to Kenny Christian.
Tell you what, how did that ball get in there?
Well, he had 2 guys draped on him.
I think 3 guys from Ryan almost knocked themselves out. Kenny Christian came up with the football.
Christian playing this week with a bad eye. Hit last week in the eye with a football. I've never seen that before. Went through his helmet. That's why he's wearing the visor this week.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you told that story because I know that's an embarrassing story for a wide receiver.
The pitch to Anthony White. White gets enough for the first down. Deke Cooper on the stop.
There's so many things going on in this stadium, Kurt. You have to kind of just keep your eyes moving. It's attention deficit disorder. This guy's on a horse, got a flag. Just, you know, they score a touchdown, just start taking a little romp.
I think the attendance is 53,000 fans and
they got a stable
2 horses.
Yeah, they get its own stable back there.
3 horses.
Yeah, they could run like a little derby here.
I guess Ryan having their version of the 3 horsemen. Husak out to Looker. Short pickup, only 1 yard on the play. Earthwind Moreland with the stop.
You know, this is the dink and dunk offense. A lot of people in the NFL kind of used to seeing this. 3 steps, the ball's out quickly. This kind of tests the quarterback's accuracy. You get rid of the ball. This is like turning a double play. Just set your feet and throw. Ball got there in a hurry on a line with a spiral. It's pretty.
Busy day for Looker so far.
Set. Black 10. Black it up.
Ryan coming on the blitz. Looker again, his 8th catch. Brought down by Earthwind Moreland, but good enough for a first down.
You mentioned that this offense is made for him. And what that means is they move him around in motion. They put him in a slot. And when a receiver lines up in a slot, you can't, as a defender, you can't get your hands on him. You can't cross the line of scrimmage to hit him. So always gets easy free releases. Earthwind Moreland's been trying to check him. Got 1 play here today. But he's been beaten by Looker as well.
55.
Watch where he lines up here in the slot.
Black 10. Black it up.
Hey, nobody, that's a linebacker. That's a mismatch.
Anthony White dancing free. Pick up a 5 on the play.
Now I'm looking at the offensive line of the Berlin Thunder, and they're kind of slapping 5 there. You know, Josh Warner right there at left guard, Ben Hamilton, because they just got scored on, and now this offense is moving the football and controlling the clock. That man in the middle, Ben Hamilton, he's the best lineman in this league. And I say that definitively after watching all the tape and studying guys each week. Consistent performances, his 11th start here.
White 10. White it up.
White stopped in the backfield. Ula Tuatelli, the New England Patriot, with the tackle.
That's just Tuatelli coming downhill.
Well, you talked about Hamilton. He's a prime example of what the Denver Broncos like to do with this league here in NFL Europe. They draft a guy, they put him on the practice squad for a season, then send him over to Europe and let him play.
Yeah, and then they go back and they compete for a job. That's what happened to Ben coming out of the University of Minnesota last year. Practice squad over here, go back and compete this fall.
Husak forced to call the timeout. Of course, Hamilton not the first member of the Broncos that they've done that. That's why I say that, you know, they like
Matt
to.
Lepsis has done it.
Lenny Friedman.
And Steve Herndon. Chris Banks. Bobby Bicknell here, the offensive line coach and the offensive coordinator.
Son of
Jack Bicknell, head coach down at Barcelona, one of the 6 teams in this league.
Of course, Jack Bicknell was the head coach for Doug Flutie during his Heisman Trophy season back at Boston College.
Yeah, when he slung that arrow that day through the University of Miami.
Thanksgiving Day.
Thanksgiving.
Listen.
Bobby played for Boston College. He was an offensive lineman himself. Brother of the head coach down at Louisiana Tech. No fingernails left, so you just start chewing on your thumb. You know, working on that fingernail.
Got the nerves going right now.
Yeah, they do.
3rd and 7, leading the 20-yard line for the first down.
White 80. White 80.
Husak. That ball tipped and was not intercepted. Luckily for Husak, Adrian Sadler had to go right between his hands.
Well, Todd has thrown 2 great touchdown throws today, but he's also thrown a couple of bad passes. There's Adrian Sadler here. I mean,
Aaron Humphrey got a hand on it to change the rotation of the ball. Sadler still had a shot at it. So a 45-yard field goal attempt from Danny Boyd. Boyd already with 1 today. And this one going to make him 2 for 2. So Boyd had a 48-yarder earlier, a 45-yarder this time, and Berlin extends the lead to 23-7.
A lot of things been going on since we've been over here in Europe, Kurt. Charlie Batch, released by Detroit, signed by the Steelers this past week. Roman Pfeiffer, who played on that World Championship team with the Patriots, re-signed, and Blake Brockemeyer left Chicago, now with Denver. David Carr and Brian Thomas, 2 #1 picks, signed already. How about Tony Gonzalez coming back from that knee injury, wants to go play some basketball?
Well, that's what's called when the team threatens you with being the franchise player and you don't like it, and you can play another sport. Troy Aikman making an appearance. You saw Boris Becker earlier.
Yeah. Troy growing his hair a little long here in the offseason. Cowboy fans, Giants. It's an old Pepper Johnson jersey, isn't it?
That's an old Packer jersey from, I think, Made at Home. That's the version.
Yeah, and then a Ryan Fire jersey. That's damn. It looks like Marino's always good. I remember a couple years ago, Joe Montana, who was out of the league for 7 or 8 years, was still in the top 10 most popular jerseys sold in the NFL.
That's a live football. Jamal Robertson holds it in. It's going to be hauled down by Dwayne Stoops after an 11-yard return. But the fans here in Germany they know their American football. That's why they're able to cheer. And you see the teams here, you know, the first couple of years of NFL Europe, people would cheer at weird times because they really didn't know what was going on. But that young fella shows he knows when to get up and dance.
Well, you know, kids that age, they just want to cheer. They're just happy to be, you know, out of the house and at an event like this.
Martin on first down. Going deep. Overthrows NFLEurope.
You know, NFLEurope coming back, he's an interesting story. Never played high school football. Was the class valedictorian. You know, a smart guy. You know, dropping some pretty intelligent phrases on us the other day. He said that coming over here has been a library of information.
That's the first time I've ever heard a football player refer to the game as a library of information. Check your card at the door. We're 3/4 of the way through World Bowl 10. The Berlin Thunder on top, 23-7.
Find the seams. It's the splitter. No, it's the high heat. Did I lock my keys in the car? Is that Sosa? Going for my Pepsi. Sammy.
The 1-liter Big Slam from Pepsi. More of the taste you go for.
The 2002 All-Star Game, July 9th on Fox.
It's thrilled millions since its opening. Ranked #1 on virtually every critic's must-see list. With spine-tingling effects that will amaze you. And it can now be experienced at only one location. Spider-Man the Ride, only at Universal Orlando Resort. Live the adventure on the best theme park ride in the world. The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man. And right now, stay at Universal Orlando Resort for only $99 a night, including theme park admission. Call or log on to universalorlando.com now and book your vacation. Universal Orlando Resort, a vacation from the ordinary.
Frasier, weeknights at 6:30 on Fox 53.
That World Bowl championship trophy is what all these players want.
That's heavy, too. 41 pounds?
How many kilos is that?
Yeah,
about half of that or something like that.
Yeah,
twice
20,
as many.
About 20.
Yeah. T. Martin to the air. Jimmy Robinson. Boy, how many times do we see him make a diving catch today? That's about the third.
Yeah, he always has to leave his feet, which isn't a good sign. It allows them to hang on to the football here. See that Pittsburgh Steelers sign in the back of his helmet. Sent over here by the Steelers. And you mentioned that Charlie Batch just got picked up. You know, and I know, T, you heard about that this week, but, you know, a football player, you got to go compete when you get to camp. You never know what can happen.
Quick pass. That's Robinson again. Fights his way out for a pickup of 8. And Jimmy Robinson with 8 catches for 108 yards already.
Yeah, but hasn't got in the end zone, and that's what they need. So eventually you're going to see that little stop that they just ran, and they're going to fake it to him, and then they're going to go up top.
Martin going up top for Robinson again. This time incomplete, and apparently they think they have an advantage trying to work Robinson against Sam Young.
Well, they're working on Sam Young, and he's gotten some in on him. He's been his favorite receiver this year. And you know what? Sam Young likes this. Any cornerback likes to get this kind of action because the more balls you get thrown at you, the more opportunities you have to make a play. And it keeps you involved. It's kind of like a cornerback is like that left fielder in T-ball. You know, sometimes you never get a ball thrown to you, and you get a little bored out there.
It's a third and short. Martin. Quick pass out to Scott Cloman. Cloman deep into Berlin territory at the 24-yard line. So there's a penalty marker on the play. Cloman slow to get up.
Holding. Defense. Number 27. The penalty is declined. First down.
They turn down the defensive holding on Dwayne Stukes and take the 18-yard reception. From the 29. Out of the backfield, Jamal Robertson. Going to get nothing. Keith Adams, along with Cleveland Pinckney, forced him out of bounds.
Dwayne Stukes, the leading tackler for this Berlin Thunder team, has been Mike today. You know, and right now they're getting rocked a little bit, but he's the leader of this defense. I'm sure he's getting guys lined up, and that's the defense coordinator, David Duggins.
0-0.
Martin. Quick pass. That's Cloman. Cloman finally brought down by Leyland Brickus.
Yeah, he's a little tired now. He's not having too much to say. Once the mouth guard goes in, it's hard to talk, though. Hard to understand more than it is hard to talk.
T. Martin not understanding what they want from him on the sideline. Calls a timeout and goes over asking, what do you want?
I had all sled on. 692, man. We got this. I got it.
While Ryan takes a timeout, we will too here at World Bowl 10.
Can't stop us in AC, but
At Aaron's, it always costs less, a whole lot less. Take this giant 52-inch big screen TV with picture-in-picture. At Rent-A-Center, it's $135.96 a month for 30 months. But don't be fooled, do the math. That's over $4,078. At Aaron's, it's $99.99 a month for 24 months. So you save over $1,439 and you own it 6 months sooner. You're automatically pre-approved, you don't need credit, and you get the guaranteed lowest price. So why pay more? Do the math. Call Aaron's.
The Insider Pizza from Pizza Hut is back and even better. Now it comes with free extra toppings. For a limited time when you buy the Insider, the pizza with 6 cheeses baked inside 2 thin crusts for $10.99, you can get extra toppings. Or make it a Meat Lovers, Supreme, or any other specialty absolutely free. You get extra toppings for no extra money. So what are you waiting for? Jump in and get your Insider. The Insider Pizza, $10.99 and free toppings for a limited time, only at Pizza Hut.
Storied franchises meet in an historic interleague showdown. Nomar and the Sox make their first trip ever to Dodger Stadium. Green and the Dodgers gear up for a battle of top teams. Fox Saturday Baseball, today at a special time.
Gordon looks for his first win of the season as NASCAR tears through Sonoma. Winston Cup Racing, tomorrow on Fox. The World Bowl on Fox is brought to you by new Castrol GTX High Mileage, by your neighborhood 7-Eleven store. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven. By Cool Contact Refreshment Towels from Old Spice. And by Singular Wireless. Never pay long distance or roaming again. It's a singular nation.
Oh, we're going round and round, and so far it's been an enjoyable ride for the Berlin Thunder as they lead 23-7 with just over 12 minutes to play in World Bowl 10. But the Rhein Fire marching with the ball at the 20-yard line, and yes, it's time for the wave, even in Germany.
Oh, yeah, now they've caught on. Went across the Atlantic and caught on here.
Red check.
Movement there. Yeah. Dwayne Missouri takes off, but he's pointing towards Patrick Vensky, saying he moved first. Let's see what the officials decide.
Damn, Vensky.
False start. Offense, number 60. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
You know, well, Patrick Vensky over there, the right tackle who moved, is frustrated. You know, here's the contrast in this stadium. You know, T. Martin's getting a play, but this mascot over here is having a darn good time. You know, it's not all about football sometimes.
He doesn't care, does he?
Well, if you're in that uniform and you're stuck with it, you got to be some entertainment.
Wow. Anime Ojo with the glue on his hands. I tell you what, that's a catch.
One tray. One tray.
He wants to hurry up the offense here and go no huddle. Tight end on the other side of the line of scrimmage. 16 going to be running over the right side.
Gives it to Jamal Robertson, and Robertson stopped at the line of scrimmage by Jonathan Jackson. Jackson, a member of the New Orleans Saints.
Kurt, the Fire are down by 16. That's 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions to tie. You know, 11 minutes down, they've got to get this ball in the end zone, which means they got to take shots into the end zone. Still could get a first down at the 5. T said that he wanted to take a lot more of this game into his hands today, and he's doing that now.
With Corey Alston out, DJ Dinkins, who is listed as a quarterback, now playing as a 4th wide receiver. And that pass thrown short, but a dive by Jimmy Robinson, and he made the catch.
Jimmy has been saving him today. What was that, about his 9th catch for number 9?
Over the 100-yard mark. Getting them the ball now down just outside the 2-yard line.
Next one.
The T has a headphone in his helmet. Those coaches can talk to him all the way through the play sometimes.
Martin to the end zone. Cloman with the catch. Touchdown, Ryan Fire.
But I think they got to go for 2. I think you got to play right now for 2 two-point conversions. Even if you miss it, you're still going to need a score, an extra score anyways. So T. Martin staying on the field, and that's smart. Great catch by Cloman. T taking charge, but they're on the same clock now as they normally are after a touchdown.
Well, there's been 1 two-point conversion made all season in NFL Europe, and that was by the Berlin Thunder. So Ryan trying to do something they haven't done all year.
92 pick, a one-on-one, right?
Pick is going to be to the 2 receiver side down here at the bottom. They're going to try and run this type of action. Try to get a rub on that wide receiver.
That's got Cloman in motion. Martin looking in the end zone, throws it too high, incomplete. Still, they get the touchdown on the pass to Scott Cloman of the 49ers to pull to within 10.
A deranged bomber targets a forensic doctor. Help take a madman off the streets. America's Most Wanted, all new at 9/8 Central tonight on Fox.
For 15 years, Ford has sold more trucks, minivans, and SUVs than anyone else.
There's no stopping us now.
Now we're out for more. And during the Drive for Dominance, we'll do just about anything to get it.
There's nothing gonna stand in our way.
Just announced, the award-winning Explorer now comes with $500 bonus cash. That's $2,000 total cash back, or 0.9% APR on Explorer 4-doors.
No stopping us now.
Make your move to your neighborhood Ford dealer now.
Welcome to the Coors Original Calendar Update. It's your guide to what's happening in and around Pittsburgh. Rick's Rocky Top Inn in Newcastle has bottles of Coors Original and Coors Light for $1.50 every Monday from 8 to 10. The Voodoo Lounge in the Strip has cans of Coors Original, Coors Light, and Zima for $2. And catch the Harley Hog Roast every last Sunday of every month. The Triangle Tour right across from PNC Park has bottles of Coors Light for $2.50 every Sunday. And that's what's happening in and around Pittsburgh.
Nissan 4x4. It's the next frontier.
Pittsburgh's watching WPGH. Fox 53.
Despite the failed two-point conversion, Scott Cloman's touchdown gets Ryan a bit closer with 10 minutes and 40 seconds to go here at World Bowl 10 from Dusseldorf, Germany. Jason Witzak to kick it off. Ramondo North from the Bears. North had some running room, had it shut down on him right at the 37. Berlin takes over, leading by 10.
Life's a ball, if only you know it. And it's all just waiting for you.
Introducing Cool Contact Towels from Old Spice. Cool down anytime, anywhere.
There's such a lot of living, such a lot of living, such a lot of living to do.
Cool Contact. Splash one on.
Why do we serve? Why do we serve?
Why do we serve?
To protect the helpless.
Protect our environment.
Protect our future.
Our heritage.
Our dreams.
Why do I serve?
To help others less fortunate.
Less lucky.
Less free.
We want to give back.
I am proud to serve.
I love this country.
Premiering July 17th, ordinary people take center stage in the most outrageous new hour on television. First, it's 24 amateur acts in 30 minutes.
Rodney Dangerfield in Spanish. No respecto.
It's the fastest talent show on television. 30 seconds to fame. Then, an ordinary suburban house, a group of actors posing as a family, and one real person walking right into their trap.
I charge about $300 an hour.
Go ahead, please.
It's part sitcom, part reality.
Hand me that picture. I gotta go.
And unlike anything else on television.
Get him out of there. I want to go home.
Get ready to meet the marks following 30 Seconds to Fame. Both premiering July 17th on Fox.
Just as soon as we are done here in Dusseldorf, Germany with War Bowl 10, it's first pitch from another interleague Saturday on Fox Saturday Baseball. The Red Sox and Dodgers, Cardinals and Cubs, or the Yankees and the Padres coming your way as baseball does on Saturday only on Fox.
How about Derek Lowe, huh? What kind of years he had?
Well, here's a guy who was a reliever, thrown a no-hitter this year, and is the ERA leader in the American League so far.
Keeping the Red Sox with the best record in baseball so far.
And keeping them ahead of the Yankees. Off the blitz. Husak gets rid of it, finds Looker. Good enough for the first down into Ryan territory.
I tell you what, that was patience by Todd Husak, because Tim Johnson came flying off a trampoline like Superman. Got in his face. Going to come up and watch Tim Johnson here come up running. Got to wait for him to come down, wait for him to land before he throws it, so he's got to kind of wait on it, and then he delivered a strike.
16 yards on the play.
57. Set. White 90. Line and hut.
Anthony White stretches it outside, stays in bounds, tiptoed down the sideline, good enough for a first down and a penalty marker out of bounds.
Could be a late hit over there.
That's going to be a personal foul on Ryan. So after the 12-yard pickup, they'll add another 15.
I was listening to the World Cup action. You know, I was listening to
Were you understanding it?
Not really. I was listening to a British announcer, and he would say that right now Ryan is in a sea of despair.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Late hit out of bounds. Number 93 on the defense. 15-yard penalty. Air stay. Versuch.
That means first down in German, courtesy of Walt Anderson.
Yeah, and Brandon Miller didn't help his team there. First of all, it was a long way for that defensive tackle to get to the sidelines, and then really a bad hit. Giving Berlin here great field position.
Yeah, winds up being a 37-yard play.
Set. White 80.
Down to the 20.
White 80 hut.
Off the play action. Husak being chased. Just gets rid of it, incomplete.
Look, you heard Walt Anderson, Erste Versuche, meaning first down. There's a lot of other slang that we picked up here. And let me give you some German here. You know, I mean, a penalty is just a Strafe. That's easy. But how about the referee today, Walt Anderson? He's a Schiedsrichter.
Or is that Mike Richter, the goalie?
Yeah, you know, and I like helmets. The other one I could do.
Ball, I like.
Yeah, ball is good. Some of them are a little bit easier, but Germans, they just take a word and then they build onto another word and another word.
Set. Black 80. Black 80 hut.
Here comes the blitz again. Husak to Looker again. Only back to the line of scrimmage before Greg Brown stopped him.
I say that the Germans, they just build words. You know, like that's Riley, Klein, Hesse, Link. That's 3 words. There's Klein, there's Hesse, and there's Link. You know, and he thought that, you know, that sounds German, except his first name is Riley. And then he went, took out the family tree, and he found out he's not German at all. He's actually Dutch. So Riley has done some searching for that crest over here this year. He'll leave with that comfort knowing that he's just a Dutch guy, probably leaving with some wooden shoes or something.
Not only is he Dutch, he grew up in Iowa.
Yeah.
Husak. Not a bad ball, I do believe. Too much for Kenny Christian to handle.
1 yard route.
Yeah. Kenny Christian wearing a shield for the first time, and you bring out the kicker, Danny Boyd. He's trying to get a first down. A little arrow route, just in and out.
Well, Danny Boyd has been successful from 48 and 45, this time from 38 yards away. And Boyd now 3 for 3 this afternoon is the New York Jet. The field goal makes it a 13-point game with 8 minutes left to play.
You know what you never see in car commercials? Real cars. Cars that have been around the block a few times. The kinds of cars that need new Castrol GTX high mileage. Specially engineered to protect against oil burn-off better than other leading motor oils. New Castrol GTX high mileage. It helps older cars feel young again.
Cheer up, my son. Taco Bell is open late. So spice up your night with the grilled stuffed burrito. When it is late, think outside the bun.
It is the Crucible. It exists to test the best against the best. Against history. Now, the game's greatest players compete in the summer's biggest event. The 2002 All-Star Game on Fox.
Jeff Gordon looks for his first win of the season at the track he's always dominated, Sears Point. Hold on for every twist and turn through Sonoma. Winston Cup Racing tomorrow on Fox.
Now, the all-time attendance record for the World Bowl was set in '91 when it was called the World League. Disappeared for a couple of years, came back in '95. Since this is the largest crowd in World Bowl history. And you know what? If they've got too many characters like that, maybe that's a good thing.
How's that attached in there? Look at that whisker like that.
Another squib kick picked up by Robertson. Jamal Robertson. Well, he's finally upended by Jonathan Jackson, but deep into Berlin territory all the way down to the 27-yard line with a 52-yard return.
And Jamal Robertson just gave this crowd some more life, and they have the best kickoff return in this league. They run back 3 for touchdowns this year. Watch the wedge form in the middle. Ula Tuateli and Aaron Humphrey here both get blocks. Now it's Jamal Robertson's vision, his speed, one of the reasons why he was the league MVP here, fighting for every yard, and then KO'd at the end.
On first down, Martin overthrows Scott Cloman, incomplete. Well, he's certainly giving his team a chance to do something as they need 2 touchdowns here with less than 8 minutes to play. Give him a shot.
He's warmed up, huh? Yeah, well, they don't have a lot of time. Ball's going to be in T. Martin's hands here, and the running game here is an afterthought. They need to stretch this field and get a touchdown in a hurry.
4 receivers in. Out of the backfield, Oyeniran Ojo. And he picks up 11 yards and a first down. Sam Young on the tackle.
Well, 4 O's there. Quadruple O Joe. You know, filling in for Jamal Robertson, who was just trying to get a breather after that kickoff return. Been here for 4 years. Like to get himself another ring.
He's actually a Nigerian prince. That's some regular season job, isn't it?
That's the Alpha Port Prince in Nigeria.
Martin towards the end zone, wide open, but can't get it to DJ Dinkins. Leyland Brickus broke it up.
T. Martin was telling him to come back to the football. But, you know, he was just throwing to another quarterback, DJ Dinkins.
Hey, you gotta go here, T. Gotta go here.
Oh, we mentioned because of the injury to Corey Alston, having to use a quarterback as a fourth receiver.
He's just scrambling here, just trying to make a play. You know, an athletic guy. Wanted DJ to come back to that football, take it out of the air, be aggressive with it. The reasons why you come over here is for this atmosphere. The tension, trying to make a play down the stretch.
Martin rolling out. That's too high. He had 2 guys in one area. The tight end, David Newman, and Jimmy Robinson.
Hey, rewinding the clock. You gotta be ready to go here.
Yeah.
T, they're gonna be cover 2 on you. Go levels. Go levels. Let's go. 1 trade.
Cover 2 is just going to be 2 deep safeties protecting the back end zone line. Here's the safeties we're talking about. Cover 2. These guys are going to be funneling out here. Here's the open spots in this defense.
They need the 6 for a first down, but obviously 4-down territory. Well, Ojo came in, and once again the pass goes out, and offensive coordinator Mike Jones can't believe that.
T, go levels again. They're giving you the inside guys. No post, no post.
Mike's going to need some knee pads. This is really it for him. Cover 2, they're going to give him the same defense.
1-on-1.
Doesn't need to be said that this is a big 4th down. Still needing the 6. Martin gonna fall short.
Yeah, looks like, well, he got whacked again. Keith Adams been hunting him up today. You're right, Kurt. They're not going to even measure this.
And so on a big play for the Ryan Fire offense, Keith Adams, the Dallas Cowboy, comes up with a huge play for the Thunder D.
First thing he did was look over to the yard marker, and he was short. Keith Adams had a heck of a day, starting with that interception early in this game.
Well, he's one of those guys, it sounds like a cliche, but he truly has gotten better as the season has gone on.
Yeah, I like him as my all-world league, all-NFL-Europe outside linebacker.
Anthony White loses the football, but he falls on top of it.
That's how quickly one of these games could turn around, any game.
Right there inside the 3-yard line, talk about dangerous territory.
Anthony White, who had a huge day last week, just had that ball stripped. And that's what Ryan Fire are going to do. You got to tuck that ball away right away. Early penetration by Brandon Miller. Knock that ball out.
Thursday.
They lose 4 on the play.
White 30. White 30. Hot, hot, hot.
That hard count getting the flags.
That's the 3rd time today he's got it.
Is that something you can just do as a quarterback, or is that something you learn to do as a quarterback?
Well, you know, a lot of quarterbacks have trouble with it because they bob their head with it, and you can't move your head. You can't jerk your head. Otherwise, it's a flag against the offense. So you have to be able to do it almost like a ventriloquist.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 93, moving into the neutral zone, causing a reaction by the offensive lineman. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
This is what you're talking about, Kurt. This is what Todd's got him on.
White 30. White 30. Hot, hot, hot.
See, when it's on 3, you give the first 2 real fast. Little pause, And you just get them just flinching, and that's what Brandon did, and that's third time.
Play action. There's Dane Looker, his favorite receiver. Looker now with 12 catches on the day, over the 100-yard mark.
He's going back to the Rams and this year, and he said that his idol was Ricky Prohl, and he said he's the exact same size as Ricky Prohl. Ricky Prohl in 13 years has only caught 537 footballs in the NFL. You know, an incredible career. Now, Dane Looker, for the second time this year, double-digit in catches.
Slant and go fade. On three, ready?
Slant and go fade. He's got a good route here.
55. Thursday, set. White 30. Wide 30. Hut.
They need the 17.
Both ways.
There it
They
is.
got it. Kwame Cavell. Forced out at the 41-yard line by Cedric Donaldson, but only after a pickup of 22 and a first down.
Yeah. Well, Kwame Cavell just joined the team here this week because of that injury to Kenny Christian. And so he said that he fit in right away. Here's the slant and go, and then the fade out to the corner. Take it inside, then outside. Beautiful.
Cavell, a member of the Cleveland Browns, spent all season with the Scottish Claymores, but as you said, picked up at the end of the regular season because of the injury to Christian. And said he had 12 catches all year with Scotland. When he came to head coach Peter Voss, he told him, you may get that many this week.
Black 90. Black 90. Hut.
On first down, Anthony White.
Oh.
I got it.
There's some hitting going on there. He picks up 5 hard-earned yards.
Yeah, great story here.
This is
year.
the second.
Anthony White.
Charge timeout. Ryan. This is a 30-second timeout.
Guy that was cut by Berlin early in the season, went to Frankfurt, was on their practice squad for a couple of weeks, came back here.
Well, he's really been able to show his versatility. I mean, here's a guy who we've seen him run. He had 197 yards rushing last week, but he also had 52 yards receiving, a good receiver out of the backfield.
Well, he played at Kentucky. And when Hal Mummy came to Kentucky and Tim Couch came, they went from the 110th offense in college football to the second. And he led the nation for running backs and receiving for 3 years.
Well, he's a member of the Arizona Cardinals, and that's the kind of back you got to believe they're looking for, having lost
Michael Pittman,
who did just that as a running back. Ran hard and was also the leading receiver among running backs a couple of years ago. But now Pittman down 55. In Tampa Bay.
Set. Black 80. Black 80. Hut.
White.
Hi, guys.
Stopped right at the 49-yard line by Aaron Humphrey.
You know, we were talking about the running backs and the receivers and quarterbacks. We haven't been talking enough about this offensive line who, during the season, it was amazing. They threw the ball 403 times. More than any team in this league. They gave up only 10 sacks all year, and they haven't given up a sack today. That's one sack every 40 passes. There's not a team in the National Football League that wouldn't take that effort and that performance.
They're approaching 40 passes today. He's still with nada.
Set.
With no sacks.
White 30. Wide 30. Hut.
Ryan showing the blitz. The hard count came again, and we get the penalty flags once again.
Yeah, but this time he got his own guy. You just give the offensive line a little pop. You know, you give them a little credit.
Never fails.
You know, and then it's like something's in their helmet. They hear it.
Offense, number 82. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Well, he's going to blame it on the tight end, Ivan Mercer from the Redskins.
He doesn't count. The offensive line is still, no, you know, he's wearing an 80 number. He doesn't count, Kurt.
Oh, so it's not really on the offensive line.
You know,
he's a tight end. He's out.
Hey,
yeah, the offensive line hasn't jumped. They haven't given up a sack. They've been practically perfect here today.
On 3, right.
That's just the second penalty of the day against Berlin.
You watch tonight. When they go out and celebrate this win,
55.
That offensive line will be, they'll be the focal point of that party.
Black 30. Black 30. Hut.
White. Anthony White stays in bounds. Keep in mind that as soon as we're done here with World Bowl 10, a little baseball action for you. That interleague thing still going on. Red Sox and Dodgers, Yankees and Padres and Cardinals and Cubs.
This is the
all
third
coming up for you next
and final
here on
timeout.
Fox.
Ryan, this is a 30-second timeout.
Well, the Yankees have gotten walloped the last 2 nights in this interleague action, going to Colorado and getting thumped by the Rockies, blowing a big lead And then last night, San Diego beat them 9-1.
Yeah, but it's going to be a great race, isn't it? I mean, you know, as we get into the heat here in a couple days of July, you know, to me, it's almost like a lot like this league. Nothing gets decided in the first half of the Major Baseball League series or season.
Well, the thing you have to hope is you talk to a lot of Red Sox fans.
Yeah.
And first of all, they tell you there has to be a strike this year because the Red Sox have the best record in baseball, and something always goes bad.
You know the curse is coming. The curse is going to come.
They're just waiting for it.
Yeah, now that's not an easy trick to do. I mean, I know that I wouldn't hold that on 5 fingertips.
Well, they're all glass, too.
Yeah.
They serve beer in glasses.
That's the confidence they have, though. They can put a tray on fingertips with glass.
Penalty flags down as Brian Morton was back to punt. That's going to be a false start.
Offense, number 43. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Were you ever a waiter in a restaurant?
No.
I was a waiter once.
I worked at Burger King, though. I was a fry cook once.
I was a waiter one time in a restaurant, I'm sorry to say, working for tips. And I would never hold a tray with one hand. I would never trust myself to do that.
At least you got tips. I worked at Burger King. We didn't get tips there.
There we go. That's an easier way to do it. You know, if you don't trust the one-hand technique, you just put the backpack on.
He must have seniority. Morton gets it off.
Or bad hands.
Give me a short kick.
Get in the game.
Rolls right out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Only 27 yards on that kick.
There we go. There's a technique. That's just like a hose that comes out of there, right? You just squirt it into the cup for the fresh one.
They look like the guys in Ghostbusters, don't they? Where's Bill Murray?
He's walked way too long without pouring one. Everybody's sitting down, looking a little down in the dumps here. Oh, biggest crowd here in Rheinstadion in its history, in its last game.
Martin completes it to Tony Taylor. Taylor probably wish he hadn't after the hit he took on the 4-yard pickup by Cecil Caldwell. That gets us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left to play on the game clock, just under, here in Dusseldorf.
It has over 20 million customers nationwide. Works with nearly half the Fortune 1000. And provides wireless networks for BlackBerry and Palm. Bet you didn't know who's so big in business. Singular Wireless. What do you have to say?
No matter how big your thirst, 7-Eleven has a fountain drink to fit, like an ice-cold Dr. Pepper.
Right on target. Now, Grecian 5 hair color targets only your gray hair to leave subtle tones like your own natural color, all in 5 easy minutes. Grecian 5 targets only the gray.
Hi. Don't miss a special movie presentation of Home Alone 3 at 8/7 Central Fox Monday.
Over 39 million viewers made American Idol TV's summer sensation. Tuesday, the next 10 finalists compete, and you get to vote for your favorite.
Congratulations, you're all winners.
And Wednesday, see who makes the cut when the results are revealed live. The hit series American Idol continues at 9/8 Central Fox Tuesday.
1 minute 58 seconds away from crowning the champion of World Bowl 10 and the 10th champion in the history of NFL Europe. You know what? This is going to be an historic crowning of a champion. As the Berlin Thunder, the defending champions here in NFL Europe, if they hold on, will become the first team ever to win back-to-back World Bowls.
Doing it on the road 2 years in a row. In Amsterdam last year, and here in a sold-out Rheinstadion. Very impressive performance. Because really, you know, they've won 6 of their last 7 games. The only loss was to this team, the Rhein Fire. So going out and beat every team in this league, I think they can hold that trophy up tonight. A lot of satisfaction.
Martin going deep. Jimmy Robinson with another big grab.
Heck of a day for Jimmy Robinson, I'll tell you that.
52 yards on that reception.
Yeah, they need to get right up on the ball here. There's no timeouts left. Working against Ahmed Hawkins, who's had him checked on that side of the field most of the day. That's just a great catch again, leaving his feet to make the catch.
Ryan letting a lot of clock wind down. Can't complete it to Tony Taylor out of the backfield.
Well, the clock is their enemy, so you got to either work the sidelines, Kurt, where he can get the ball out of bounds, or you got to work it right to the end zone. I kind of like your shot to the end zone here. You got a lot of field to work with.
And you need 2 touchdowns in order to tie it.
Well, his favorite target is down here at the bottom, Jimmy Robinson.
The blue 10. Blue 10.
Martin.
He's got him inside, too. He's got him.
He loses the football and just falls on it. The important thing is the clock keeps running.
Yeah. And the receivers got to get back. They're all running to the end zone there. Now they got to sprint back and get ready to run again. There's Ojo. This is where your conditioning comes in.
Martin. That's going up top to Scott Kloman. He's brought down at the 11.
Got to get up to the line of scrimmage and kill it. Just kill the ball right here and stop the clock. And it's taking too much time.
This whole possession is taking too much time. Martin spikes it to stop the clock, but with 40 seconds left and down by 2 touchdowns, it's going to be tough for them to stop the Berlin Thunder from making history here in NFL Europe. And last year, Berlin got off to a slow start before finishing strong and going to Amsterdam for World Bowl 9 to take on the Barcelona Dragons. Barcelona came in with the best record in the league, but Berlin got 2 touchdowns in the final quarter and then got a big defensive stop on 4th down to hold the trophy high above their head as World Bowl champions for the first time.
He's still working the sidelines.
Yeah, Peter Voss still working hard. Scott Kloman.
No, he's down.
He was down at the 1-yard line.
On the ball, quarterback.
He just got quarterback sneak this. They're going to be so tired of the defensive line. Quarterback sneak this right in the end zone.
Martin takes it.
Go.
Touchdown, Ryan Fire.
Well, Kurt, it's an onside kick away here. You know, they've had 2 fake kicks today. They got to get the ball right back on the onside kick. That all comes down to a great bounce.
Manfred Bergsmueller on for the extra point. And it's 26-20. A 6-point ball game.
Well, that's what it is, Kurt. It comes down to an onside kick. No, the horse is still running, though. There's still life. You got to believe that way. That's how you have to think. That there's always a chance.
Hey, I bet that shit out of bounds.
Head coach taking charge of the hands team on this onside kick. Counting them up, making sure there's 11.
All right, hey, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to onside kick it. What do we got to do? What do we got to do? We got to get the ball. Let's just get the football, man. Get the ball and protect it. Protect it. Here we go. Let's go.
So Jason Witzak, a member of the Tennessee Titans, will attempt to get the perfect bounce here, looking for the onside kick.
I don't know if this is an art or a science, but you look at the ball, it's a funny shaped egg. It's laying flat on a tee. You know, you got 10 guys running over here. You want this ball to bounce and then bounce a big bounce here. And you want to be able to grab it on that second bounce.
It's loose.
Got it.
And looks like Ryan recovered.
Yep.
That's the signal.
Well, they didn't get the big bounce, but it laid on the ground.
And maybe that's what fooled Berlin. Everyone from Berlin putting their hands up. The ball stayed down.
And that's one of the reasons why this game is so amazing, because of the shape of that ball and what it does. This ball never gets up in the air. Just stayed down. Went right through the hands of Dane Looker. The best receiver on the field today when the most sure-handed receiver went right through 81's hands.
So down by 6, T. Martin with the ball at his own 41-yard line, and the World Bowl on the line.
Here's your Hail Mary formation over here. Going to put it up in the air, 19 ticks. Chance for a couple of plays.
And no timeouts. Martin being pressured, brought down for the sack.
That defensive line would just put this game away. No reason why that clock should be stopped here.
Well, the officials signal for the clock to be stopped, probably because they were holding him down, but they reset it here. 2 seconds left. This will be the final play. Martin just gets rid of it, but he's brought down for the sack officially to end it, and the Berlin Thunder are World Bowl 10 champions again.
That's the end of the ball game.
After an 0-3 start to their season, the Berlin Thunder fight back, winning 6 of their final 7, making it into the World Bowl, where they knock off the Rhine Fire 26-20 to become the first team in NFL Europe history to win back-to-back championships.
They're the only ones that believed in themselves when they were 0-3, Kurt. They had fun, they improved throughout the season, and they got the job done.
Coming up next on Fox, Major League Baseball, the Red Sox and Dodgers, Yankees, Padres, or Cardinals and Cubs. For my partner, Brian Baldinger, and everyone who's been a part of this one, I'm Kurt Menefee saying thanks for joining us.
Home to the 2003 5 and 7 Daytona 500, Super Bowl 39, and for the next 5 years, the home to baseball's All-Star Game and World Series. You're watching Fox Sports.
I can't believe this.
After everything we've taught you.
My own daughter. Getting her tongue pierced. Without shopping around for the best price.
Hey! Our customers know the importance of shopping around, because at Progressive.com you can get our price for car insurance plus the rates of other big-name companies.
Your brother got a good deal on his body piercing.
You could save hundreds. Call Progressive today.
Innovation, performance, value. It all comes together under the tent. Nissan's Big Top Tent Sales Event. Don't wait to get great deals on every Nissan, like up to $1,000 cash back and financing as low as 0.9% on award-winning Nissans, including Maxima, Pathfinder, and Frontier. Plus great deals on uncompact Sentras and rugged Xteras. It all comes together under the tent during Nissan's Big Top Tent Sales Event. Nissan, driven.
Watch Sports Extra for your first Major League Baseball highlights. Plus, catch the Pirates tomorrow on our sister station, WB22. Your ticket to Pirates Baseball.
This is a presentation of Fox Sports.
The Circuit City pregame show is brought to you by Circuit City. Circuit City, we're with you.
Should we be here? Yes.
Welcome inside the Fox Network Center. Jeannie Zalasco along with Kevin Kennedy. This is Fox Saturday Baseball, your game of the week. And from Musial to McGuire, he was the greatest Cardinal of them all. As a headline in a St. Louis newspaper read Wednesday, Jack Buck dies. He was the soul of a city. The voice of the Cardinals was silenced forever this week after a long illness. He was 77. Mr. Buck will be missed for his humility, his generosity, and his compassion. He was far more than a voice on the radio, but his voice colored the landscape of so many lives and so many incredible moments. He called the first ever AFL game, Mark McGuire's 62nd home run, and of course the catch, Joe Montana to Dwight Clark. And as so many fans have said all week long, Kevin, they knew them their whole lives. They never knew him personally, but he was truly like a best friend.
Well, I think it's because Jack Buck started in 1954, and that was the era of the transistor radio, and I can reflect back to the early 60s as a young boy listening to our own here in Los Angeles. Vince Scully, very much the same way. Guys like Ernie Harwell, Marty Brenneman, all these guys started on transistor radio, and whether you be at the park or the beach or trying to go to bed, your parents telling you, go to sleep, you have that little earplug in and you're listening to your favorite announcer. They visualized, they brought the pictures to life, and that's what Jack Buck did in the Midwest, no question.
Truly gifted, and appropriately, Jack didn't move on until his beloved Cardinals moved into sole possession of first place.
Well, St. Louis has pitched extremely well and played well, 22 wins in the last 33 games. Starting pitcher today is Jason Simon-Tacci, who pitched in Italy last year, 5-0. He's been phenomenal so far.
And as the Cardinals try to keep that streak alive, how about talking about another one on July 16th, 1941? Joe DiMaggio's hitting streak reached 56 straight games. Ironically, on July 16th, 2002, Marlins second baseman Luis Castillo